changes.
Life.
It's actually been fantastic. Sorry, I was going to say, it's actually fantastic to see in this Discord right now, everybody just waiting, ready to go. If I look down on the side of the chat, it's good to see this sort of camaraderie come out in the ANZ region of late. I know you guys host regular HOTS nights between Unreal Aussies and Onyx, but just looking at this Discord, seeing it basically packed out, full of people wanting to just give competitive HOTS a crack. Some of these teams might not be the most skilled, but they're definitely the most keen and definitely the most hungry. I know the Onyx lads, especially the ones we're about to feature, they love what they do and they are determined to get better. And you can see that in the way that they play each week.
Yeah, I absolutely love how so many different people can be all friends at the same time as rivals. It's good because ANZ region is too small to break up with rivalries. We all have to be buddies when it counts and be enemies when it counts.
Yeah, that's right. So
it's looking like Infernal Shrines there. If you want to load up the lobby.
I had to close the game just because the background's not playing right with HOTS.
I'll start the lobby.
I'll jump back in now. But yeah, tonight we're doing a round robin format. Last time we did a customized Swiss format, and our teams are Deathwing Reign Supreme, Limewire, Onyx, Rolls Unspecified, UA Eggplant, and UA Muppet Slayers.
I like Deathwing Reign Supreme. DRS, Team DRS. Can I just get a review on that one, please, guys? Just review that decision. Review that team-wide. I wasn't happy with that mosh pit. I want to check that one out again. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it might have been slightly intentional. Whenever I see them in chat, I always call them the doctors.
The doctors? Right. Why the doctors? Elaborate on that one for everybody in chat,
Ag. DRS.
Ag's just jumped out of the channel, ladies and gents. Apologies for that. But like I was saying before, follow Unreal Aussies on Twitter if you haven't done so already, as well as Onyx, the Onyx Esports Club. If you're watching this thinking, hey, I want to get involved with Heroes, just hit up either of those guys. Both of them fantastic communities. Like I said, getting a front row seat with them all, and it's just like hanging with your mates at the bar. Really, it's fantastic, and everybody's just super chill and they just love each other. So get involved, get amongst it, and if you are feeling adventurous, get involved with the upcoming HGC season at GameStar as well as in conjunction with Blizzard ANZ. We'll have more information about that for you come Monday evening. So hopefully tomorrow evening, at the very latest Tuesday morning, you'll have all the information for the upcoming season. And I tell you what, with the launch of the Overwatch League as well recently, I don't know if anybody's been watching that. Go Dallas Fuel, go Custer, my boy, homegrown Aussie. Get amongst it, because 2018 is going to be a massive year for esports. Not just, over in the USA and Korea, but over here as well. We're trying to break the shackles of the minor region. Hopefully, we'll have our internet issues sorted all out by the end of this year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can be hopeful. And then, hopefully, we'll get involved with the big leagues to show those boys over there that we can actually tango with the big leagues. So Ag is still down there naked, just telling
Yeah, we're just a bit of a mix-up with the teams, I think.
Yeah, for some reason at some point I heard Onyx and I immediately invited AC the Man and all just went downhill from there. We got Limewire here, so it'll be the middle
Limewire.
matchup from round 1 according to the bracket.
Alright, that might have been my bad. I updated the text yesterday. And then
Look, I was going to take the bullet for you. I was going to take the bullet for you.
No, it's alright, mate. I'll take responsibility, Ag. It's alright. We're almost good to go here.
They're good to start as soon as they connect.
Excellent. Just waiting on Tracinator. I have had to take off
just confirm for the viewers which team is actually on blue, which team actually is on red, just so we confirm that. Locked and loaded.
Well, on the left, team 1. Is your name knackered, Agamemnus? That's a nice one, mate.
Wow.
we do have UA Muppet Slayers on the left, team 1, also blue, captained by Claymore, and on the right we have Limewire, a new team to the Clash of the Clans, and I believe their captain is You Wish, if the crown placement is correct.
Oh, there he goes. He's connected. All right.
Excellent.
Let's just fire it up. Let's just go nuts.
Go nuts. All right.
And
Here
away we
Round
go.
1.
Infernal Shrines.
Alright, let's get it on, ladies and gentlemen. First game of the night here in the UA Clash of the Clans. Muppet Slayers versus Limewire, Infernal Shrines. Ag, I'm going to throw this one over to you first. We've got the Muppet Slayers on blue, Limewire are on red. Infernal Shrines, one of those maps where, wave clear as well as point control definitely prioritised. You might see champions like Diva come out just for that zoning effect, as well as the likes of KT, Gul'dan, the Mages. We don't see them often enough, but on Infernal Shrines, it's one of those maps where they come out to play.
You're absolutely right. The hero choices are a bit different on this map. Wave clear is so important because it works for pushing the lanes, but also very well around the objective. The zoning from Diva, you mentioned. Ooh, Sylvanas banned straight up, so they're looking for the to eliminate that push there from the Muppet Slayers. The Diva detonate, the self-destruct. Ooh, and a Sonya ban. They're on the ball here. They're going for it nice and quick.
Not surprising. Not surprising at all to see both of those ones banned out. Sonya is just probably S-tier champion at the moment. Like, ridiculous. Remember that time Murky got buffed and we just saw the Murloc plague because Murky was just unreal? That's what Sonya is right now. Definitely not as annoying as the Murky, but definitely as dangerous. I mean, she's got the sustain, she's got the damage, she's got the mobility, and Sylvanas is another one, another no-brainer ban. We were talking about how important it is to wave clear and point control. Sylvanas does both of those things, so no surprise here that both of these two teams, as switched on as they are, have gone straight for these bans.
Yeah, Sonya definitely one of the most strong characters in the game at the moment. It's very, very hard to solo lane against a Sonya. And we've got Malthael straight up. That's an interesting pick.
I like the Malthael for the team fight potential. Yeah, sorry, go on.
It's an interesting first choice just because his percentage damage. They're going to be hesitant to pick beefier heroes now that they know that percentage damage is already on the board. But he can get that good spread of AoE damage on the itself, on the Guardians.
Yeah, fight potential. Around the... Lucio's not bad, again, sustainability as well as mobility, but Malthael, just back on that one, when you've got the little dudes, as they've been coined here in the ANZ region, around the shrines, before we introduce our man John Cena in there, teams are going to be fighting over that tooth and nail, and as soon as Limewire, Team Red, hit level 10, Tormented Souls is going to be locked in straight away because the staying power he provides, as well as the damage output, is absolutely insane. That's your Bruiser locked in. That kind of then funnels the Muppet Slayers into kind of low health pool frontliners like the Variant. They won't be going the likes of Arthas, Diablo. They would be mad to pick Diablo with somebody on Malthael. So it kind of narrows down what Muppet Slayers can actually choose.
It certainly does. And that lifesteal when you're surrounded by the little dudes, I believe they're called, the Guardians. Plus the
Guys,
enemy team. You can, I mean, Malthael's sustain just on his own is phenomenal when he's got that many people locked in Tormented Souls. The ETC pick, also very strong at the moment, much like Sonya. ETC goes quite well. Not surprised that he didn't get picked first because he can be countered quite easily. We've got a Morales ban there. That's an interesting one. I guess considering the support she can
Paired
provide
very
for
well with
Vala.
Vala. Yeah. ETC is a very strong pick. Can do some AoE, but very good at keeping the enemy team away from that shrine while the rest of the team kind of cleans it up.
See, the other one that Limewire can go for here is potentially the Oriel, because of the battery that Vala provides for that one. There's even more potential to even go for a TAS to get something like the Force Wall out, as well as the Psionic Storm, to help with that clear, as well as, we talked about it a lot, the choke points that can be that can be cut off by that Force Wall, allowing for Limewire to control that point. Gul'dan is not bad, because Muppet Slayers, they do need that. They need the wave clear. Gul'dan does that. And he won't be out here to play this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of, they don't have any wave clear happening at the moment. We'll see what they pick next, though. I think you're right with both the Tassadar and the Oriel theories there. I'm not normally a fan of the double healer meta, despite how much we saw it so much last season. But I could almost see that happening at this point. They've already got damage. They've already got tank. Lunara and Anubarak. I'm guessing Cocoon targeting that Malthael there, or maybe even the ETC.
Yeah, either one of them. Either one of them, you lock down either ult. Yeah, and that's like the queen off the board, so to speak.
It's not a bad pick as well. Anubarak doesn't have the largest health pool amongst the warrior characters. And he compensates for the shields and the magic resist, Blaze is banned for tonight, unfortunately, but also has some decent clear with his oil slicks.
He's just got the kit, hasn't he? The whole shebang. He's, the only thing he doesn't really
pretty
have is
useful.
shield. He's pretty useful. He does counter himself. Chromie is interesting. They might be setting up some sort of execution style play. Again, replicates what Tass would have done with the Force Wall to choke him off with that slowing sands. I mean, potentially we could see a loop build. You could execute that Lunara. Lucio can be sucked back in quite comfortably. Stukov is not bad at all, because you're going to be playing very close knit, tight, and that pustule the healing pathogen can just spread.
Yeah, Stukov's a very nice pick for this. I just can't stop thinking about the choke points now. Look at their full team comp with the Malthael, the ETC, and the Stukov silence to take advantage of the choke points. Everyone funneling in, just making themselves ready targets for, Tormented Souls. A bit of Chromie firepower, Vala. A lot of people go Hungering Arrow builds in competitive play for Vala, but if they really cut off those narrow corridors around the objective, even a multi-shot build could work here. They are Lunara can go down quite quickly, Lucio can go down quite quickly to a multi-shot build. So I dare say we probably will see HA build though. It's very popular in competitive play in Vala.
Yeah, but, multi-shot is always usually the go-to for Vala, and when you don't have any other form of major wave clear, I think we'll be seeing that. But regardless, depends on if they are going to control the point or not. That the early fights will tell the story. Are we going to be playing the defensive game where I have to burn down a Punisher, or are we going to play the aggressive game where we go for the shrines, back ourselves into the team fights? It's going to be difficult, because before level 10, I'm going to have to say Muppet Slayers have kind of got this one on paper here, because it's only then at 10 when Tormented Souls comes into the equation where Limewire really hit their stride.
The ultis are very strong on Limewire here. The ETC Mosh Pit, the Malthael, Tormented Souls. The Chromie, she gets hers at level 8, but that's a nice way of picking off either a Jaina or a Lunara. Without Jaina or Lunara, Muppet Slayers loses a lot of their damage.
They do. Wave clear is something that Muppet Slayers needed, with Gul'dan taken off the board. Jaina's a good one. Kel'Thuzad could have been acceptable, but Kael'thas is another one. Phoenix around these points is dangerous, and It's not bad because I think if Limewire would have gone on a little bit more melee heavy comp, a little bit more dive centric, then we might have seen KT come out over Jaina. But because they went for Chromie, because they've gone for Valor, and really the only frontliner is Wish on that ETC and Ghost Dog on that Malthael, Jaina's playing the ranged game. It's smart that she can just kite them for days.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have wave clear somewhere, didn't they? I guess that's what where the Jaina comes in. And I like your point about the wave clear on the Valor. That is an excellent reason to go multi-shot, actually.
Looks like we're going to have a 5-man fight in mid here. Kind of to the advantage of the Chromie. She has gone for the Dragon's Breath build by the looks of it. So it'll be interesting.
Could we be seeing a loot build? Could this be telling of a loot build here?
I think it'll ensure a kill on the Lunara, so we'll see how the card plays out.
Well, we might see it. Let's get it underway, ladies and gentlemen. Muppet Slayers on blue. That is Claymore, Chuck, Pointy, Staff, and Andromeda going up against Limewire on red. That is You Wish, Whack Attack, Tracinator, Matcha, and Ghost Dog. We thought we were going to have the old 5-man bust up, but it's not going to be. Having a look at the top there, Claymore and Ghost Dog just kiss each other at the top there. It's telltales of a fantastic story told over a candlelit dinner. No, they're actually going to punch on instead. Ghost Dog already sucking up the souls in that top lane. Meanwhile, in mid, it's a bit anticlimactic, bit of a range poke going on, but nothing too much to get excited about so far.
Yeah, I'm guessing, I'm surprised. It looks like Chromie's leaving. She might be looking for, she wants to 1v1 the Jaina. Malthael's coming back down middle. I would have thought, normally you would go for the lane with the most enemies to try and stack up your Sandblast quest as soon as possible.
Especially with deep breathing.
Yeah. But that's okay. Maybe Malthael's not comfortable against the Jaina, so...
Yeah, it's smarter for Ghost Dog to get switched on going on there because Jaina, like we said, until Ghost Dog hits level 10, Jaina has the advantage in that lane because she can just kite a Ghosty around, so it's smarter for him to get switch up now, go down to the bottom. He has to deal with the impales of a Nubarak, but hey, that's a little bit more easy to deal with than the old face-rolling combo of Jaina.
And he can always just get his health back slowly, bit by bit, every time a new minion waves comes through. He doesn't look too stressed about it. We've got a bit of movement between lanes, but no real gank attempts at the moment. Well, so far.
They've just hit level 4. Well, Chromie has hit level 4 because she does have the passive where she gets 2 levels ahead. She's actually going for Enveloping Assault, and so far it's looking like a loot build. Sukov's gone for Growing Infestation. So he's going for the Lurking Arm, doing what the TAS would have done with the Psionic Storm. That Growing Infestation is going to allow for maximum clear when it comes to the Shrine phase, which is actually going to be down the bottom to start things off. Teams will be taking note of that when they get their rotations on. The thing I want to watch out here is how well these teams time their minion waves when the Shrine phase gets underway.
Yeah, it's always good if your minion wave can take out a little sneaky tower or something while everyone's focused on the objective. You certainly don't want it happening to you, so you're right, they need to prepare for it, plan ahead a little bit. The first objective is going to be coming up down bot. Chromie is completely out of mana, and she just missed a purple globe up top, so it's not looking great there. He did talk about being on Macca's Wi-Fi earlier on, so...
Chromie is an interesting choice so far.
Macca's Wi-Fi, Aussie internet, same diff.
See, right now, as soon as that Shrine phase went underway, the call was made by Muppet Slayers to go up, take the Shaman camp, and put pressure on this top lane. That allows Jaina to come back down. Chromie, meanwhile, with no mana, has to stay up there, deal with that Shaman camp. There's a disadvantage for Limewire coming into this fight now here on the bottom Shrine as the little dudes are underway. Pointy completely whiffs a burrow charge onto You Wish. Definitely no KVA at all, but there's a 5-man Muppet Slayer going up against a 4-man Limewire at the moment. Muppet Slayers need to pull the trigger and go now.
Yeah, well, they've got the opportunity. They can see Chromie on the minimaps. They know she's not hiding around a corner. Looks like they're focusing on the Guardians, actually. The Blizzard going out, targeting them instead. Oh, they might get the grab there on ETC. Pointy is trying his hardest to hold him still. They finally managed to get the pick. Limewire's in trouble now. They are 3v5. I almost question whether or not it's better for them to just bail and try and get a little bit more experience out of a wave or two outside before coming back to defend against the Punisher. Lunara is hunting down that Stukov, but also out of mana now, won't be able to cast another slow.
So what the Muppet Slayers, what Limewire are doing here is they realise that until they hit level 10, they are extremely limited in what they can offer in terms of team fight potential. So, by keeping Chromie up in the top lane, they're hoping to get that little bit more of a bonus when it comes to experience. They're going to comfortably give up this first Punisher. It's not the worst thing in the world. It is only, you know, Punisher number 1. It's 4.5 minutes into the game. Let's not get out of because in a bunch just yet. Limewire will be able to comfortably deal with that. Tracinator soaking up the EXP, but because Muppet Slayers took the Shaman camp and they got the additional XP from getting the objective, it's very similar at the moment. And in fact, Muppet Slayers have a slight EXP lead.
Yeah, the Shaman camp. Chroma's not fantastic at clearing a Shaman camp. I mean, she can wipe out a minion wave pretty quickly, but with those healthy summoners there, Pointy just went in for a gank on her, but she got saved by the Hourglass. The wall has gone down in bottom lane though, so that's responsible for a decent chunk of XP lead that Muppet Slayers have got at the moment. You go ahead.
I was going to say, You Wish went down in that fight as well, just going a little bit too deep there. The solo healer Stukov not able to keep him alive for long enough, and Stukov actually going for Bionic Armor. Healing Pathogen gives 50 armor to the target, so that's going to definitely benefit You Wish, especially when he goes into his Echo Pedal, where he gets the bonus armor as well.
Chromie's just picked up Slowing Sands at 8, so we're not going to see the Temporal Loop come out, but yeah, I'm a bit worried about his stacks, because he's soaking, he's not at his fights, and his Chromie really depends on those stacks to deal that damage later in the game.
Mm-hmm. 1 stack on Sandblast, which is the level 1 talent which you get given, and Deep Breathing, only 2 stacks on Deep Breathing as well. So if you're going to play Artillery Chromie, the long range game like Tracinator is doing now, like you said, you're going to have to be able to build up these stacks, and he's just going too close to the minion waves at the moment, walking over Impales, and Pointy's just having a field day here. Tracinator's able to get away every time, but normally Chromie should be landing at least Qs.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to struggle to get a kill out of nowhere on an Nubarak, but should be at least stacking
Bottom lane, there's a bit of action going on. Oh, sorry to cut you off. Whack Attack got caught out there. The lurking arm was down, and Limewire have just been caught with their pants down. They were trying to take their own Kazura camps, and the Muppet Slayers were switched on enough for the invade, and they get 3 frags out of it. Malthael, Stukov, and You Wish for ETC all taken out of the equation. Level 10 now hit by the Muppet Slayers with that engage. They win the fight, they take the Kazura camps, and they just continue to pour on pressure.
Yeah, that's a hell of a steal too. 3 kills plus the siege camp now wailing on that tower from underneath. Vala copying a bucket load of damage. Popping her fountain there, just to stay alive, stay in the lane, try not to miss any more XP. Stukov's going to be able to drive them away, but those siege minions are still wailing away on the gate. The bottom port's finally gone down. Shrine's going to be coming up in middle next. With a bit of luck, Limewire might be able to secure their ultimates before they have to actually fight on it.
They should definitely have somebody down in the bottom lane stoking up. There we go. Ghost Dog realizes that he's going to go down there, clear that wave. It's all it'll take. Now the Shrine phase is in. They've hit level 10. This is where Limewire have the best chance they've had all game at coming out on top, at turning this fight, this whole game in fact, around on its head, because now they've hit their power spike. This is where Stukov comes into play. This is where ETC comes into play. This is where Malthael, especially with those Tormented Souls, just you wait. If Limewire can win this fight, I think Muppet Slayers are in for a massive surprise. Here we go, the engage is on You Wish. Is standing on top of Whack Attack's infestation there. That is smart play. In goes the Rain of Vengeance. Oh, Ring of Frost comes in from Jaina. Actually cleans up You Wish ETC. And the rest of Limewire get melted like popsicles in the summer heat. That is a full team wipe, apart from Tracinator, who is not even anywhere near the fight. They really needed Chromie's pressure in there, Ag.
Yeah, I can imagine Slowing Sands probably would have helped a little bit there. That Ring of Frost, though, it was sensational. She managed to hit 3 people with it. It's always one of those things where if everybody dodges it, it's such a wasted ulti, but if you can hit 3 people like that, and I mean, you saw the results right there. Or Tracinator's in a little bit of trouble. The taunt comes out from Staff, and they managed to pop there. This is not looking good for Limewire at all. They're only 1 level behind in the XP, 1.5 if you look at the XP bars. But it's definitely starting to slip a little bit. This Punisher's probably going to take out a tower, maybe a fort. The XP lead's just going to increase for Muppet Slayers. Got a feeling there could be a little bit of snowballing here.
If you can't be fighting on the same level tier, you definitely want to be fighting on the same talent tier, and you know there's only a couple centimeters left for the Muppet Slayers in terms of the XP. They just need to soak that one up. They'll hit level 13. They're going to let John Cena get to work on the mid lane by themselves. Limewire now forced to rotate from that top lane. Tracinator just needs to get his team play hat on here. He's currently playing the solo game. If he's not building those stacks, all he's doing is, well, just soaking the XP. It's all he's been good for at the moment. He is leading that at least. But now this Punisher turns his attention to the mid lane. All that does allow is the Muppet Slayers. They're just going to be able to clean up the camps. They've taken the bottom Kazaras now. They're going to get an invade on and now steal Limewires away from them. They're going to get a fort to boot. And that is definitely not a bad play.
Yeah, they're just making sure at the moment to turn all the little yellow bits on the map into blue bits. Just want to make sure they've got
term there, Ag.
Yeah, all the little yellow bits into blue bits. Yeah, look, just total map domination here. They're not. A pick. Yeah. They don't need to engage in team fights. They can just keep clearing up all the lanes, getting the occasional pick here and there.
Like that.
They do. Yeah, they do have a talent advantage now though as well, and it's 4v5. They should be able to get a keep out of this push. They've got just enough time. No, maybe a little bit short.
Oh, that's a good half push. There pushes Pointy the whole way back, and with that ult alone, that forces the disengage there. It was a 4v5 fight. Ghost Dog is now back in spawn, and he will be making his way back into that fight. But yeah, with that ult alone, well done there, Whack Attack. Gets the disengage off. Pointy unable to burrow in. No impales, not getting, the cheeky knockups on the backline. That's why he's gone that infestation build. So it's going to act like the sanctification for the team. You don't pick the Tyrio, you go for the Stukov. Yes, you still take damage, but a lot of abilities, all the abilities are negated. That silence is monstrous, so it's smart play there, where Whack Attack gets pretty much a free sanct, as well as chunks of damage as well.
Yeah, it interferes with a lot of different combos, a lot of different sort of dive setups. You're absolutely right. It's a good defense mechanism, and you get it on the healer instead of having to take
the only criticism I have of that, though, is Whack Attack is the only heal coming in, so when he's channeling that lurking arm, the growing infestation is doing its thing, yes, but there's no heals going on. I mean, he would have to time his pathogens to perfection as well as the pustules. He hasn't actually gone for the reset talent either, but you wish he's going to get caught out. Here he goes in for the slide. Mosh collects 2 on the back line. Jada is boogieing away. Malthael comes in with the tormented souls, but get cocooned straight away. Well done there from Pointy on the Anubarak, and they melt Valor. They destroy ETC, and coming out of the cocoon is Ghost Dog, and he is going to get dropped like a sack of spuds as well. See you later, Limewire, and the Muppet Slayers are drooling at that team fight. Everything just went right.
Yeah, they were waiting for that cocoon. Well planned, well timed, everything went well there. Another shove from Stukov, but he's going to get chased down by Pointy. If he keeps up the body blocks, yeah, Stukov will go down for sure.
It was a good slow from Chromie, but unfortunately not enough to save that Stukov. Pointy very deep on that Stukov. Chromie getting some stacks now, though.
Yeah, finally starting to work it up a little bit. Oh, she gets snagged by Pointy. Can he? No, he can't follow it up. ETC comes in to defend the little Chromie. Well, objective up top this time. Doesn't look like Muppet Slayers are going for a camp first. So far, they've always gone for a camp right before the objective. This time, they're just going to go straight through. They do have level 16. 3-level lead plus a talent advantage. Even a talent advantage over Chromie, which is not a great sign for poor Limewire.
Yeah, it's big. So the camp's now going to be taken by Limewire. They realise they're a talent tier down. They really can't contest this fight. I mean, if it was level 4, maybe, perhaps, but level 16... is a power spike in itself, probably, the next best after level 10. And by taking the maps, it puts a little, taking the camps, it puts a little bit of map pressure on. They should rotate down to the bottom as well. They probably could have taken the bottom Kazaras, just get that ball rolling, but they run out of time. They're going to have to deal with an arcane Punisher now, often regarded as one of the most dangerous Punishers in the game, just because the sheer amounts of AoE damage he's able to chunk out. So already down to 88%. So the minions getting the work done. You can see Limewire, they do not know where Muppet Slayers are. They've got no vision at all. For all they know, they could be hiding in the bush, waiting to, you know, drop the old Chinese bush gank on them. But they're cleaning up the camps, turning, as you said, Ag, the yellow into blue, doing what Limewire probably should have done, except subbing, you know, blue with red. But they're going to get to work on the Punisher. They'll survive here. They won't lose a fort out of it, but they need to soak up EXP. If they can go the late game, I think they might be in with a chance, but it's a long way to go until that stage comes into play.
Yeah, definitely. I almost feel like they took that summoner camp up top there just as a denial, because they knew that Muppet Slayers would probably pick it up on their way through in the charge to the keep. You're right though, they might have been able to grab the siege one down bot before they had to defend against the Punisher as a result, because they didn't. Muppet Slayers is coming in on this fort with the siege camp in tow and the snag on Malthael. This keep should go down no problems. It's 4v5, still with the talent advantage, still with 3 level advantage.
No Punisher required in the bot lane. That is going to fall down. And ETC's been taunted. Normally Varian would not blow his taunt on the ETC, but hey, when it's level 18 to level 15, you're a full talent tier ahead, and your team knows exactly what to do, when to get the drop off, and now Limewire has just fallen over like dominoes. The Cocoon is on Develop. Matchup gets deleted off. Having a bad time on Limewire, and with 3 men down, Muppet Slayers, they get to work on the call. Limewire can't really offer much in terms of defense. Ghostlock has rejoined the fight. Tracinator, with little to no stacks on either of his abilities, is trying to dish out the chunky damage. Gets caught in the Ring of Frost, just a good measure. And now for the lulz, they're trying to rub the salt into the wounds here. The Muppet Slayers dominating Limewire in this opening game here of the Clash of the Clans. It's a 16-minute game, and that will be GG's.
Yeah, look, Muppet Slayers, they planned that map very, very well. I thought their timing on the merc captures before the first 2 objectives was excellent. They probably could have done the same on the third, but then they sort of turned it around into a bot lane push instead of pushing top with the Punisher, collecting all the mercs in between, capping it, and going for that bottom keep. Getting the pick on Malthael down there is probably what secured them the win condition. Once they were 4v5 with that kind of level lead, they didn't have anything else to really worry about. Just throwing out that frost ring at the end, as you said, rubbing a little bit of salt on the wound. Good old Australian bad manner. That's what we do. That's how we play. But we're all buddies here.
Would it honestly be Australian sports if there wasn't a little bit of bants involved? I mean, think about it. Our cricket team's one of the best sledges in the world. Let's start something here. Let's give birth to something. Let's let the ANZ region be the best B-steppers going around in the HGC. Let's make it happen. If we're gonna be famous for something, it may as well be for our cheeky dance.
For hot sledging. Is that what we're famous for now?
Yeah.
Hot sledging.
Yeah, England will always remember us for cricket sledging, and the world of esports for the hot sledging.
Yeah, 100%.
Was very well played by Muppet Slayers. They had great map control throughout that entire game. They were getting the camps at the right time. They were just overwhelming Limewire with their defense presence, and they just couldn't defend against it. They just got that lead and kept going with it.
Do we want to talk about MVP?
I think we do. I think Claymore had a few beautiful Ring of Frost going on.
Yeah, she had that one where she grabbed 3 of them. Excellent. As I said, if you don't get anyone, it's such a wasted ulti, but she managed to snag 3 of them, and they just totally wiped the team. I was quite impressed with Chuck, the way that he was dishing out the damage. You would just watch their whole health bar go yellow, and then it would just all go black straight away. I don't know how he was doing it. I couldn't quite follow it, but I'd love to learn, because I do like a little bit of Lunara, and my combo just does not kill them that quickly.
Actually went for the Wild Vigor build on Lunara. That's how you did it. When it's a level 7 talent, Crippling Spores increases the damage of Lunara's next 4 basic attacks by 50%, and when you couple that with the Thornwood Vine, and then at level 16 went for Starwood Spear, increasing her attack range. I mean, all she had to do was just right click, and it was 19-0. Limewire didn't actually pick up a single kill. So yeah, for me, it's a toss up between Claymore and Chuck. But hey, let's face it, I don't think Chuck would have been as effective if Claymore wasn't getting the lockdown plays with those Rings of Frost. With that just constant slow, getting those chill stacks going, and really enabling the rest of the team to get in there and get dirty. So for me, it's Claymore.
All right, let's give her the good news. I'll go see if I can grab her.
Do we want to get the map vote going for the next round, please, Grunter?
Yeah, whenever we have the map vote go up, make sure everybody click on that link and get your vote in immediately. The players are allowed to vote just as well as the viewers. Get right onto it.
Yes, interactive streaming. Love it. Absolutely love it. So turn your eyes to the Twitch chat. There will be a link in there. The players can get involved, and you, the viewers, what do you want to see? Let us know. Let the players know, and if they don't like it, tough. The vote has been cast. That's how democracy works, and that's how Trump got elected. So, better or worse, you know, you're going to have an exciting time regardless.
We'll be right back.
Excellent. So that vote's just gone up in the chat, although you'll hear this 2.5 minutes later. So tell us what you think, and yeah, round 2 will be that map. We've got Brax's Holdout, Battlefield of Eternity, or Towers of Doom.
And the next match we will be streaming will be Muppet Slayers versus Eggplant. So a bit of a showdown there.
Are you sure about that one? You don't want to send that one upstairs? Are we not doing Team DRS?
I'd love to send it upstairs. I just don't know where that goes anymore.
Considering you're supposed to be the upstairs, it's kind of worrying.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Agamemnus is the upstairs. Don't argue, Nugget.
Is that how it is?
Don't argue. Don't
Is
argue.
that how it is? Did you found UA Ag? I never knew.
By the way, we've got Claymore in the chat. How'd you feel
hey,
about
Claymore.
that game, Claymore?
Hi. My hands are like super shaky and sweaty, but yeah, like no, it's just I'm super nervous. I think all in all, like our team played really, really, really well. Kudos to Staff for shot calling. He made some really good calls, didn't hesitate, and the rest of our team went with it. So there wasn't anyone waiting behind, or everyone just stuck to the calls. And we were really watching the map for, you know, people being on their own, like Maltheo in that bottom lane, while everyone else is defending mid. So good rotations, and yeah, and no B stepping from Staff. So.
We saw that
that's an achievement in
frost
itself.
ring on the steps at the end, though.
It was just a zone so we could get the core. I wanted to be done. I was shaking.
Oh, well done. You won the vote for MVP as well, so enjoy that
really?
one. And get ready for your next match against Eggplant.
Yeah, UA versus UA. Always hate versing them because it's like fighting yourself. I don't know, it's weird.
I'm sure you'll find a way to do it.
We'll see. Well, thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thank you, Claymore. We'll grab a party invite back to your party, and once we get the map vote for round 2 going, we get stuck into it.
It's between Brax's Battlefield and Towers of Doom. I feel like I want to throw a vote in.
Hey, if the viewers
for
can
it,
get
mate.
involved, surely you can get involved.
You can
as well.
vote.
Oh, it's for Towers of Doom at the moment.
It's looking like it so far. There's 20 votes have been cast.
20.
And the Towers of Doom is currently winning. Yeah, we're slowly climbing. Just getting a nudge ahead now. The Towers. So let's give it a couple more minutes. And it's looking like it's going to be Towers, but hey, you know, you never know.
Something to note, earlier on in the stream, I should have screenshot it. DS Hacky said Eggplant is going to go 5-0. You can quote me on it.
Oh, big calls from Hacky there.
Consider yourself
It is a big call.
the SDS Hacky.
Just want to give a countdown for the map time. Well, the viewers are going to be 2 minutes behind us anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
All good.
Give it another 10-15 seconds, and
Have a
call it.
drink.
We'll get it going.
We'll start gathering the next team. So we've got Eggplant and Muppet Slayers.
So tell us more about the HTC season, Kit. Will you be casting a lot of it, or what's your role?
Yes. I'll be casting. I can't give you any details on the actual format or anything like that just yet. But yes, I will be casting. The crew will be back. Skinny, Vandy, GLP, everybody's going to be there. And hopefully new faces as well. Whether that be involved in admin work or casting, whichever. But, you know, like we mentioned earlier in the start, with esports growing and roles becoming available everywhere, you know, it's going to be big, and I'm definitely excited to be a part of it. But like I said before, follow at GameStar with a H on the end on Twitter, as well as Blizzard ANZ esports page for updates and news, and hopefully tomorrow evening at the very latest, Tuesday morning, you'll have a little bit more to sink your teeth into.
Excellent. Looking forward to watching a few matches. I'm not sure if any of the UA teams are getting amongst it, but I definitely know Onyx will be.
Yeah, a few of the teams from Onyx have been talking about it. Look, it's looking like Towers of Doom. I reckon we just fire up the map and get it going.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, all of these people I definitely have on my friends list.
Thanks for being patient, ladies and gents. So I think that's enough votes that have come in, and it looks like Towers has got a clear lead. Battlefield of Eternity actually coming in second, but with a full 4-vote headwind. I think Towers of Doom is going to take this one, lads. So let's get the lobby up and underway. Let's get through these games and keep the viewers entertained, because, hey, I know I'm excited to be bringing it to you. I don't know, there's a few guys in the chat that are excited to be watching this. Hey, I mean, it's eSport. It's the time. It is the time for eSports. Overwatch League was on the weekend. There's the Gfinity series, the Boston Major. The Clash of the Clans for HOTS. No matter what your game, there's just something to be going on. So thanks for being here, and I hope you're having as much fun as we are. Map number 2 is going to be Towers of Doom. Between, who are the teams again, Ag?
We have, Ag. Go for it, mate.
It's going to be Muppet Slayers again on blue, and it's going to be Eggplant on red.
Both UA teams, a bit of a grudge match. We'll see who comes out on top. Well, what are the predictions, guys? Hacky's already put his prediction in. 5-0 for the tournament for Eggplant.
Look, I can't give a prediction on this one, because whatever I say, I'm going to be abused by 5 people.
But then you're also going to be adored by 5 other people. It kind of balances it out. They're going to love you and hate you equally at the same time. You've sort of pleasing everybody there, so you can't deny that one. You cannot deny that one. But yes, ladies and gents, Muppet Slayers on blue, Eggplant on red. Let's get it on.
I think we've got everyone in. Claymore, once again, the captain of Muppet Slayers, and Merlin captaining Eggplant on red team. So they're here again. I think they've got Alex Burnsy subbing in from the team last time in the clash. But yeah, it should be a good match.
I think he's taking a permanent place now, actually.
Yes.
I think Alex Burnsy's upgraded. Just waiting on Crazy Dave.
Andromeda coming in place of Fongo for the U8 Muppet Slayers. So,
Liasu typing in chat. He's got the same prediction as Hacky there.
He certainly does.
I can't wait to find out some of the results from the matches we didn't watch in the first round.
Yeah, we'll get that under. Well, we'll get them in there very soon. But Muppet Slayers on Team Blue, we know them. We saw them last game. It's Chuck Claymore, the team captain and previous game's MVP. Staff, Andromeda, and Pointy, and their friends, and their rivals, the yin and the yang, the top and the bottom, the Eggplant. It is Stossi, Crazy Dave, Konya, Merlin, and Alex Burnsy. Throw out your best Stossi, Stocky, Stockmeister, Stockman, whatever, Stock brother, into the chat. Whatever you've got into the chat, I want to hear him. Let's get him on the screen because I know he loves it. He loves hearing his name. He's got, that's one of his weird fetishes.
Look, I'm going to have to stop you right there, buddy, because Crazy Dave is ready. So we're going to hit the start button and get this underway.
There we go. Towers of Doom, let's go. So, Towers of Doom, kind of like the Infernal Shrines, you're going to have to prioritize that point control style gameplay. So you want to create the zone. We saw Claymore do that very, very well with those well-timed Ring of Frosts. Unfortunately, it didn't come together for Limewire, who went for the staying potential game, with the ETC, the Malthael. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage to melt down any of the targets, but Muppet Slayers, they outdrafted them in the end there. They cocooned the ETC, they just stopped anything that was coming their way. And, let's see if Eggplant can do what Limewire didn't, and that is come out with a victory over the Muppet Slayers.
The cocoon worked very well for him last game. Oh, ETC ban.
Don't want the ETC going on there. They had enough of it last game. Don't want to deal with him. Very strong hero.
Well, if you remember one of our, I think our first time casting with you, Kick Fox, Konya played ETC. There's a famous quote about Daddy's here.
Daddy's here, and I think the other famous quote was cooked Konya the next week because he was just struggling to make his way in and actually couldn't play. And I think Panda actually had to sub in for that one. So
yeah, and she played ETC as well.
Yeah, and she played well. So filling the shoes, they were big shoes, smelly shoes, I'm imagining. But, I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of power. But hey, they don't want to deal with ETC this time. No partying, no mosh. What's squares?
So we have Eggplant banning here. 5 seconds left.
Oh,
Grey Mane.
I thought for sure she'd gone AFK.
Have some faith in Merlin. Got a Sonya first pick for Muppet Slayers.
Yeah, I dare say Claymore's probably snagged that one up. It's good. Claymore's quite good on the Sonya. As we were talking about before, definitely one of the strongest solo laners in the game at the moment. And Merlin also plays a mean Sonya. So by first picking it, she's also denying it at the same time. Bit of a targeted choice there, I think.
So let's see what Eggplant answer back with. I mean, Sonya doesn't really give too much away in terms of your team comp. It just locks in, one of the strongest in-meta picks at the moment. You'd be a fool to not ban Sonya. First up was, echoes of last season. All we saw was a Garrosh ban to start things straight up. Sonya is the new Garrosh. It's 2018. Get with it, guys. Eggplant now, what can they answer back with? I mean, if anything, even though they got the second move, they're going to be sort of giving away what they're going to be going for here. I mean, everything they want is on the board. They're going to lock in Lucio to start things off, as well as Li Ming. So actually, it doesn't really give too much away, other than the fact that they want to try and get that poke off with Li Ming.
Yeah, I think Li Ming's very strong in this map. There's a lot of walls you can hide around while still denying the channel on the various altars around the map.
Yeah, definitely. Might even see Disintegrate for exactly that purpose, depending on how the map goes.
Eggplant would have known that Pointy played a good Anubarak last game, and already by choosing Li Ming, they're kind of limiting Pointy's champion pool in that sort of effect. Johanna, could we see Pointy play Johanna? Ag, is that one of the champions that he likes?
Honestly, that's a good question because Staff plays a really good Johanna. So who did Staff play in the last game? He was Varian.
So he was the main tank, getting those taunts off. Absolutely no fear, by the way. Ballsy taunts going straight onto the ETC. But hey, when you're kind of 3 levels up you're going to have a little bit of, swagger about you, just getting in there saying, you know what, I don't care who you are, have a look at me, now you're locked down, now you're looking at a spawn timer again. So, let's see. Let's just see.
So, Merlin banning here for the second ban. They do already have their tanks and the healer for Muppet Slayers, so some kind of damage dealer she'll hope to deny, I think.
Yeah, that's really what they're lacking at the moment. Muppet Slayers need some of that ranged poke pressure, and by getting rid of Greymane and now Genji, takes away that range, takes away the dive, takes away a lot of nuisance for heroes like Li Ming, like Lucio, those real squishy backliners that really struggle when you have somebody as sticky as Genji or as sticky as Illidan that is able to just, not give you any breathing room. Genji's a smart ban, and realizing that Muppet Slayers still do need that range, it's smart. Will we see a mage, another Jaina come out from Claymore? It's entirely possible, but Valor screams to me as something that definitely comes into its own on this map. Reyna is another one which often gets overlooked, but if you're going to go for that Battlecruiser ultimate, the zoning effect that ult has at controlling the towers, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it comes in pretty handy on this map. There's quite a few choices still left.
Got a Diablo ban. They're hovering the Muradin for a while, but I think Diablo is very strong on this map. There's lots of, the altar itself is a wall for him to charge against. Heroes are mostly going to be on that altar, and there's a lot of bushes for him to charge from. Plus his ultimate can be a global deny from the channel.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
You're going to need to be a really good Diablo to see when Dahaka's about to go into the Brushstalk, or when Falstad's about to mount up and then drop the APOC. I mean, I've seen it happen. Not to say it doesn't, but it's a rare occurrence. But with 20 seconds left to go, Eggplant, they still do need that solid front line. They need that main tank and possibly another off tank. And Artanis is a good one, but I probably wouldn't go hard actually looking at the lineup for Muppet Slayers, because if you face Prism any of those, you're really going to struggle to melt them down. Tychus is a good one, which Eggplant might have to look at here, because you got Johanna, you got Sonya, you got Uther, 3 armor champions, lots of staying power, lots of front line there. Even Uther on his support can hang around for ridiculous amounts of time. You often wouldn't expect it, but Tychus would actually be a good pick for Eggplant here. Now that they've got Malthael or Muradin, that's their bruiser, that's their front line. Something to complement Li Ming's damage, I think that would be it.
It'll be interesting to see who they pick as their damage dealers here. I really am a little bit lost. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think hopefully we see a mage and auto attacker come out. As you said, a Reyna, and some kind of mage. I don't think any.
Chromie. Yep, perfect.
I was going to say no Chromie. I'm not sure any of them play it, but there you go. I think Chuck plays them actually, so we might see Chuck pick up the Chromie there.
Back over to Eggplant, their last pick. I'd say they could use a little bit more damage. I mean,
yeah, they definitely could.
Potentially something else to complement the Lucio. I mean, again, Tassadar would be a good one. Does both of those things. Does the support as well as the damage. But if you do want to go for something like a solid damage dealer, again, a Reyna, a Tychus, anything to shred the front line, and B, control the towers, because you're going to be doing the dance a fair bit on Towers of Doom, and you either play the Siege game or you play the Towers game, and the Towers game, well, that's the objective, so that's the one you kind of want to be playing. The Siege game is a distraction, and Eggplant won't be rolling with that here. Li Ming will be doing her best to poke down the towers, to poke down those walls, to poke down any sort of pressure coming out on the way from Muppet Slayers, and just turn their attention, give them something more to think about. Zarya, there we will go. That's what I'm talking about. The damage enabler.
I'm picturing a Zarya ulti into a graviton surge into a Tormented Souls with a couple of orbs and then maybe a Disintegrate from Li Ming here. I'm picturing it. I imagine that's the plan.
It's a powerful combo. I wasn't expecting the Zarya, I'll be honest.
No, I wasn't expecting Zarya.
It will be a very good good pick with the shielding. They've got the Lucio as well for his ultimate. They've got a lot of defense. They've got a lot of means to protect that Li Ming.
It's good. It's looking good. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 of the night for the the Unreal Aussies.
The United Aussies.
Clash of the Clan United Aussies. Yes, let's go. Muppet Slayers versus Eggplant. Muppet Slayers are on blue. Andromeda playing Uther. Chuck on Chromie. You called it Egg. Claymore playing Sonya. Pointy playing Valor. Staff is on Johanna. So you called that one too. Like an open book. And Eggplant. UA Eggplant on Team Red, Alex Burnsy, Isaiah, Crazy Dave playing Li Ming, Konya on Muradin, Merlin, the captain on Malthael, and Stossi on Lucio.
Yeah, we're seeing a deep breathing on the Chromie already, so we'll see if Chuck can beat Tracerator from last game.
The battle begins in 10 seconds.
Well, all you need to do is turn up to the fights, and already we might see a little bit of an improvement. Let's see what these teams can do. But deep breathing is interesting because Time Walker's Pursuit, I mean, vision is prioritized. Usually it's all we saw from the Chromies.
Yeah, I love Time Walker.
I love Time Walker as well. It's all I go for. Unless I'm having a laugh, then I'll go for the deep breathing. If I know I'm going to cheese and have a bit of fun with loop, then I'll pick deep breathing just for that artillery build. But we saw last game, we saw it come out with the Slummy Sands, and then just constant Dragon's Breath talents. And I don't know if Tracinator was extremely confident in his build. He had minimal stacks on it, so questionable to say the least. But let's see if the build will translate over here for Muppet Slayers.
Yeah, well, Chuck hasn't landed a hit yet, so I mean, the red team has completely left middle lane. They went for a gank on bot, maybe to try and snag. Yeah, maybe to try and snag Pony, but ooh, there we go, double hit there, nice one. Pony goes in for the grab, but just misses. Andromeda stops Li Ming from doing whatever Crazy Dave was going to do. We've got 3v4 in the middle lane. Pointy's being left alone as Vala down bot. He will get through to a tower unless somebody stops him. Okay,
Crazy Dave heading down to that Vala.
Just in time.
They are really rotating as a team, Eggplant.
Yeah, they are. Muppet Slayers playing nice and safe, making sure they don't give away any free kills from that good rotation we're seeing.
Staff looking for a gank up on top of Merlin.
There we go, they're going in Claymore and Staff combined. Merlin struggles until you hit level 10 there on old Malthael, but is able to get away. Just using the Fear the Reaper to slink away, so always good to give Malthael that little bit of extra mobility, the escape potential, for exactly that reason. So well done there from Eggplant for being switched on. Now, as soon as we get into this first tower phase, this is where it's going to get interesting. We've just hit the 2-minute mark, so it's not far away now. Burnsy, interesting to see what he's going for. Going for Demolitions Expert, so stacking up those Qs, getting those grenades going, not going for Feel the Heat, going to play the long-range game. Burnsy, all he's going to be able to do, all he thinks that he's going to be able to do here is just lob grenades and be able to interrupt those captures. That's his role.
We're seeing 3v4 again down bot, but yeah, Merlin managing to get the pick on Sonya up top lane there. That's interesting. We keep talking about how strong Sonya is 1v1. Oh, a lot of pressure coming out from... Yeah, a lot of pressure coming from Eggplant down there on bot. They're going to get one of those towers by the looks of it, unless Chuck can interrupt. No, not quite.
A bit unfortunate there. We had the 3v4 down bottom, and Chuck was left middle with no targets to stack off.
Yeah. So far, he's 3 on his Q and 3 on his W. It looks like the fight's going to be around the bottom one here.
Pointy is going for the basic attack build here on Valor as well. No multi-shot here up on Towers of Doom, ladies and gents. As the engage goes on, deep breathing. Ooh, it's not as effective as you would hope. Dragon Breath just clipping Konya there, but Sandblast being thrown out. In goes Johanna, Iron Skin, as well as a lot of damage. Staff takes it, but heals from Andromeda are fantastic. So good. The orbs are coming out though from Crazy Dave. Will he land it onto Pointy? Just managing to get away. Hot Pursuit is able to keep him alive there. Konya eats a Sandblast just as he's trying to retreat there. The disengage not good enough, and the towers currently being taken advantage of by Eggplant. They have a slight lead after the first phase.
Yeah, Konya did go pretty deep there. He was chasing down the very, very unhealthy Pointy on Vala, but Pointy managing to just get away. The hot pursuit probably saving him, as you said, and Konya, of course, couldn't quite back out after that. Eggplant still with a half a level lead. If they time their next attack properly, just as they get level 7, they'll have the talent advantage. They might be able to get a pick just before the next shrines come up. So we'll have to see how they play this one out. They're going for the Mercs, of course, down bottom right.
Merlin in trouble up top.
Merlin's up top. Yes, she gets pulled out. Must have copped a stun from Uther, allowing Claymore to land plenty of damage on her before the end there.
Yeah.
No, she sat in the wave, unfortunately.
Oh,
Uther only just got there. Those minions are deceptively powerful now, especially the ranged ones.
Next tower phase is going to be down the bot. Only one is going to... Oh, sorry, 2 are going to be spawning, so it's going to be a bit of a south side jiggle for these teams to get the rotation on. Now with the set spawning times, timing is going to be coming into effect more as much as camp rotation is. Often you take a camp just as the objective spawns, so that's definitely going to be something that teams need to take into account, as well as those set spawn times. Now, as the phase gets underway, we've got 15 seconds going down. We can already see teams starting to rotate. Claymore decides to abandon Konya and Merlin up in the top layer, making sure that she joins the fight, the party, so to speak, nice and early, and now the phase gets underway.
Yeah, well, they were hanging around just to kill off those pumpkins, which is now going to give Muppet Slayers a little bit of a lead trying to get that. Crazy Dave does get an orb through to stop the channel from Andromeda. They've managed to get 3 people here. Eggplant's actually 4v3 on the top objective at the moment. Muppet Slayers got 2 down bot though. If they can capture that and join the fight in the middle one, any early advantage they had with arriving early is gone now. Claymore is under a lot of pressure. She's copying it. The Lucio speed buff allowing Team Eggplant to chase properly. Slowing Sands cutting him off, but Staff is on the other side of those slowing sands. They're going to have to escape down below. Ooh.
Staff tries to get away with the Iron Skin, but gets body blocked for days. Oh, manages to slink through the wall. The 4-man Eggplant wall. Staff navigates it very, very well. Chuck needs to be careful. Chromie, 0 mobility. Konya, plenty of it with that Dwarven toss on the Muradin. Ooh, walks over a trap, and in the end, saved from meeting the Sandblast there. Konya, still clipped again, has to go through the slowing sands, has no choice, but the shield from Alex Burnsy is enough to get the disengage on. So not a bad fight in the end there from Eggplant. They managed to take a level lead. They're eking close to level 10. They got 1 of 2 towers. Still not bad though. In terms of objectives here, Ag, they're still well in this fight, Muppet Slayers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this map can be a little bit deceptive as well, because getting the early lead on the tower hit points is really no indication for late game, because some teams are just built for level 20. I don't think either of these teams has a specific advantage at level 20, but I mean, it only takes 1 team fight and a tower down for a triple objective spawn to be worth 15 points just in one go. It can turn very, very quickly.
The next phase is actually going to be a double up the top, so we went down south. This time we're going up north. Crazy Dave doing a great job here on Liming. Just keep throwing out those orbs, poking away. Level 10 hit now by Eggplant. Pointy decides to go deep, actually rolls in. No disengage now. Luckily Andromeda is there to throw down the hammer of justice and stun that dwarf where he stands. So just a little bit of a cheeky poke going on, but nothing too major as yet, Ag.
No, Crazy Dave out of mana, getting back to his base just in time to top up on that before he comes out for these objectives. I wonder, can either team really afford to go aggressive on this, or do you think they're probably both just going to settle for 1 shrine each?
At this stage, if anybody has to go aggressive, it's the Muppet Slayers. So at this point, they'll be looking at this level lead and going, hey, we can actually fight here. Main Avengers now going in. Konya decides to go deep. Will Merlin blow the tormented souls? Great blessed shield from Johanna. Cleans up Lucio, so no heals coming out from Eggplant. This is what Muppet Slayers needed, but they lose 2 in quick succession. Will it be 3? Yes, Claymore is down. Andromeda dukes the orb. Narrowly manages to get away, but it's not the same sweet love story for Johanna. Staff bites the dust, and Eggplant, even though they got the first pick early with no heals, Eggplant were able to come out on top.
Yeah, I thought for sure when Muradin hit that time trap, I thought, oh, Muppet Slayers have got vision now. They know where to aim. They know where to point their abilities. But I mean, they just pushed through it. Eggplant. They didn't take any severe losses. I mean, they did take the first loss, but they still had plenty of firepower left in them, and they turned it around quite nicely.
There was a great pull from Staff there as well. He did save Uther from the disintegrate from the Liming and chopping that channel.
Yeah, keeping him back there.
Both teams pick up the camps around the map right now. They're playing the PvE game.
The pumpkins are pretty dangerous. The last thing you want is to lose a fort and have to try and get it back before the next objective comes up and just end up mucking around too much.
A great haymaker on point.
Yeah, interesting ult choice there, but Stossy getting those shields that he needs to survive that shifting sands coming out there from Chuck on Staff. Again, that Iron Skin for Johanna is paying dividends. Chuck unable to find as much value as he would like here with this deep breathing Dragon Breath build. Staff gets gangbanged in the end there. There was just nowhere left for him to run. Now, there's a lot of pressure being poured out here from Eggplant onto the bot lane. The pumpkins are going in. They're actually going to get one to connect onto the fort here, and this is where Eggplant can start this snowball going on. Once you get caught behind on the back foot, Muppet Slayers are really going to start to struggle to turn it around. Unfortunately for Eggplant, there is no minion pressure and they have to disengage.
Yeah, Joanna should spawn just in time. We should make it down there. 13 seconds, should just get there in time for a team fight around the objective. If Chuck could get a pick off, it would. There's just no one really squishy to hit. Apart from maybe, I mean, the two squishes are Lucio and Li Ming. They've both got good mobility. Muradin goes in for a jump there. He gets snagged up. The Tormented Souls comes out from Merlin. She's chasing down the Bala, trying to get that kill.
That is how you suck out a Tormented Souls ult from Malthael. Great heal there from Pointy. With Tormented Souls only hitting one target, it's really going to struggle to find its maximum value. And the Muppet Slayers, though, again, even though they started off the fight fantastically, Eggplant are just able to turn it on its head, on a dime. They're just saying, yeah, you know what, we don't care what you're throwing at us, we've got the answer, it's right here. And now they're going to continue to wait, stall out this tower capture while they cap it down in the bot lane. Now they're going to secure the shrine, secure that extra shot. They're going to be hitting pretty juicy here. In fact, 5 rockets have just been launched, and poor Muppet Slayers really starting to feel the burn now.
Yeah, that team fight's going to hurt them. They are now a talent 2 levels behind. They will get their level 13 talent in just a sec, maybe as soon as they capture this Merc camp, but the 2 level disadvantage is still going to be a lot. Ooh, Eggplant might interrupt. No, just missing out.
So the engage. Oh yeah, the Rain of Vengeance goes. So yeah, Rain of Vengeance went in, actually clipped Konya again. The man, he just flirts with danger, doesn't he? Gets caught just on the edge of the reins, just caught on the edge of the Dragon's Breath. You know, he's just flirts with danger. He likes to live dangerously, Austin Powers, not JP. Meanwhile, Muppet Slayers, they have to go down to the bot lane. They have to take that tower. And all that does is allow Eggplant to rotate. They're going mid as opposed to the whole way to the top. Merlin is going to be soaking up that EXP. Eggplant doing a great job of making sure that Eggplant have a comfortable lead in terms of XP coming in. Oh, Condemn catches 3, but Konya managing to get the disengage there onto Staff's Johanna.
That speed boost from Stokey, that's helping everyone get away. Plus the speed boost on the shield from Zaya. Slowing Sands is just not catching anyone.
It's not. And the call comes out in the chat. What's with all the Chromie W builds tonight? And I kind of have to agree. It's not something you usually see. And, well, they're not connecting either, so we're not really seeing the full value of it at this stage. Just having a quick look at the talents here. 12 stacks on Deep Breathing here for Chuck's Chromie at the moment. So, not where he wants it to be. Definitely not where it should be. But hey, hopefully he can rectify that and we'll see some massive Chromie nuclear bomb style chunks. Oh, speaking of nuclear bombs, it comes in and lands on smack bang on Staff's Johanna. But the fantastic Divine Shield coming out from Andromeda, keeping him alive. Andro so close to going down. Yes, Zaya cleans up with the Demolitions Expert build. 1, 2, 3 frags down for Eggplant. And Muppet Slayers, again, they are hurting so much. They lose 4 in quick succession. Chuck just trying to interrupt this cap is not going to be able to, even with Chromie's insane range. And that's just been stalled out here by Eggplant. Are they going to try and push the tower down first before they get the tower cap? I think they are.
That's what they're going for.
Cheeky play.
Very cheeky, especially with 3 shrines up and less than 10 seconds left on all respawns.
It's smart. Oh, stop.
Oh, the grab from
He
Connor.
has revealed Chromie. Oh, Chuck's going to get caught out. Goes into the timeout. But all that does is just delay the inevitable. Chromie will be sitting in there going, oh my god. See you later. Haymaker.
Haymaker just to guarantee it.
Oh, it actually lands on Crazy Dave. So for now, the instant capture has been interrupted and the respawn comes back in. Will it pay off? I think Crazy Dave has done the job here. Sorry, Chuck on the Chromie has done the job here for now. He has.
Yeah, Crazy Dave's out of mana. He's going to have to go back and tap that fountain. Only finding 4 before the leap in from Claymore.
Expulsion zone went in, sorry, not the grab now. Here comes the sound barrier. Lucio providing much needed survivability. Claymore gets dropped. So again, Muppet Slayers in familiar territory. That is on the bench. Andromeda, Divine Shield himself, not going to be enough. And Eggplant took them 2 goes, but hey, they got there in the end. That's
going to be the game.
They gambled there. They're going to take that tower. They're going to take their own. And yet, like you said, GG's.
They did their math. They took the risk, the calculated risk, and it really paid off for them. Well played to Muppet Slayers and Eggplant.
That could have they could have gone a bit backwards for them for a minute there. Chuck did hold out for a very long time, but I think the level lead was just a little bit too great, and they managed to get the snag as well. The reveal from Lucio plus the leap in from Konya forced Chromie to use that timeout, and I mean, although it was just enough time for the Muppet Slayers to come in and back him up, they didn't quite have enough to really get him out of harm's way. The Haymaker just sent him back, and he was in trouble. He got off that Dragon's Breath before he died, but it wasn't going to be enough to secure a kill in return. Let's talk about MVP, guys. What did you think?
Look, I wanted to see something from Chuck. I was expecting big things, but unfortunately he wasn't there. He was left alone in the lane occasionally, and he just wasn't always there to get the stacks, and it's really important on Chromie. Saw some great plays from Konya, going deep with the Haymaker, and Eggplant was just in Muppet Slayer's face the entire game. They played really well.
How about Dave's damage from on Siege as well as Heroes? 71k Siege. The next best on the team was 45 from Malthael, so a decent 25 odd k there. And then the hero damage 41k. The next best again Malthael. Only 1,000 difference there, but it just goes to show you how much work Crazy Dave was actually doing in those team fights. So for me, it's definitely going to have to be him.
Yeah, I'm
what do you think,
pretty happy with Liming on that one, to be honest. He was always a threat. Those orbs were always dangerous. I mean, the whole team played quite well, so he didn't really, I guess, stand out amongst them. But looking at the stats, it's pretty clear. He's got 0 deaths as well. That's another good factor there. It's so much siege damage in front of. Who was the next best? Sonya on the other team. I mean, we've been talking about Sonya solo laning all night, and she just got whooped by Crazy Dave in that case.
Yeah, well, when you're at that much of a level deficit, it's hard to cop that damage.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm happy to give it to Dave. Do we want to get the map vote going for the next game?
Yeah, we'll get the map vote going. We'll say hi to the team captain of Eggplant, Merlin, and then maybe take a break while they vote on the map.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, Merlin.
Oh, hello.
How did you feel about that game?
Oh, that was a pretty good game from our team. I don't think I could have asked for more from them.
Were you a little bit worried when you delayed capping those top 2 shrines to capture the tower?
Yeah, we got a bit worried. Dave, in particular, was a bit stressed at us when we engaged 4v, but in the end, it ended
Yeah, it
up
paid off
working
nicely,
out,
and it won the game for you.
Yeah, which is lucky. I think we slightly miscalculated like their death timers, so they were up a bit sooner. But yeah, it was a good game. We finally got to play the other UA team, so that's good.
Yeah, no hard feelings, I hope.
I hope not. Yeah. I mean,
well, you can let Crazy Dave know that we picked him for MVP. That was some spectacular damage from Li Ming. He didn't die at all. His mana was always running low, but it's always because he was using his spells very wisely.
I will let him know. Yeah.
Good luck in the rest of games.
Thank you.
We will see you in round 5 for your match against Rolls Unspecified.
So, ladies and gents, the map vote is up in the Twitch chat. In fact, it went up 2 minutes ago, but because there's a delay on this stream, you might not have seen it yet. So this is your friendly reminder. Get yourself involved with the stream. Not only will this be the players getting the choice to choose the map, but you guys do as well. So the link is up there now. The choices are Tomb of the Spider Queen, Volskaya Foundry, and Sky Temple. A solid choice of maps. Even we can throw our vote in. I've already thrown one in there for Tomb of the Spider Queen because I love Gul'dan, I love my mages, and Tomb is his home turf.
Oh, I went for Volskaya. Everybody loves Tomb of the Spider Queen so much, it always gets played. Alright, shall we take a break?
Let's do it.
I'll have a 5-minute break. We'll be back soon, guys.
Run for the toilet!
Life.
And we're back. Just setting up the match for UA Eggplant versus Onyx. What do you guys think of these two teams? We saw a very strong showing from Eggplant in the last match. How do you think Onyx will fare?
Look, I love the Onyx guys to death. They're absolute champions, but I think Eggplant is definitely on a roll at the moment.
Well, the call was from one of ANZ's OG champions, the best of men himself, the legend DS Hacky, reckons that Eggplant are going to go 5-0 and completely molest every single other team that comes up against them. But, tell you what, if anybody's going to knock them off, I reckon Onyx are in with a chance. We saw the grudge match between UA and UA going over to the Eggplant guys against Muppet Slayers. But I think Onyx, they've got pride on the line. They've got their guild to champion here. So I definitely think that they are not going to go down without a fight at all. Grumshot plays a fantastic support, especially his Lucio. It's renowned. So don't get me wrong, their draft is probably one of their strongest points of their game. They definitely know what they're doing in terms of building a team composition and as well as out-drafting the opposition. Where it does come into question for Onyx is that once they start to get behind, the wheels sort of fall off. They know what they have to do, they just seem to forget. They forget to soak, they forget there might be a level behind, they might forget the opposition has a talent here, and that's what they're trying to iron out in their game. That's why tournaments like this are fantastic, because you can practice that sort of thing, and that's where Onyx, I think, are going to take it to Eggplant.
Look, their planning is excellent. Their draft picking is excellent. And like you said, once they get a little bit behind, I think once their plan sort of gets interrupted, that's where their main weakness is. And I do think that, I do think that Eggplant is a reasonably chaotic team. It's hard to predict what they're going to do. So it's kind of going to be an order versus chaos match here, I think.
The good and the bad. Chaos and Cosmos. Let's see who's going to come out on top. But I think everybody's in the lobby. Ag, are we ready to get this one underway? We
Let's
are
do
going
it.
over to Towers of Doom. So, sorry, not Towers of Doom. It is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen. We just had Towers. It beat out Volskaya, much to a couple people's dismay in the chat. But hey, that's why you got to get involved, ladies and gents. Don't forget you get the opportunity to, it's interactive. Make your voice heard. Get in there, get the map vote underway. Let us know what you want to see. Unfortunately, this time, democracy wins. Trump's America did this. That's what he said in the chat, not my words. But we're going to go over to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Like I said, I love this one because we see the likes of the mages, the wave clears come out. Sylvanas, even though not a mage, definitely a wave clear one. Gul'dan's one, KT, I mean, my favourites come out to play. Let's see what it's going to be.
We lost Ratsa there.
Yeah,
so.
We had a disconnect from Ratsa. Looks like he had to quickly...
Very, very soon. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you have been, give us a thank you. Go like Unreal Aussies over on Twitter at Unreal Aussies for any more news and information about events just like this one. I know that you guys host a ladies' night on Friday nights.
We do.
Yes, ladies' night, Friday nights. I like to call it alcoholics' night because they pretty much just sit around and get drunk together.
There you go. It's like a cricket club, right? You know, the cricket cup second.
Yeah, it kind of is. It really is. Yeah.
We of course have the Monday night in-houses, or Monday Madness as Ag calls them. So feel free to come join us on our Discord. Just give a exclamation Discord in the Twitch chat to get our join link, and come join us every Monday night. What do you think of Blaze so far, Kit? Have you given him a try?
I haven't given it a try myself. I've gone up against and played with him a couple of times. Look, he's not too difficult if you don't get caught out. I mean, if he manages to get the drop on you, you can get locked down for a while, but as long as you're aware and you're constantly watching the map, he doesn't really pose too much, anyway, that I've found, of an issue. Yes, he has a lot of kit. He's got self-sustain, he's got slows, he's got disengage, he's got damage. A lot
Ooh,
of
Slickslip is coming.
to me. There we go. The man himself is going to be making his appearance here in the Clash of the Clans. Good to see him make his way in. Obviously, unfortunately for the Ratsa, he's going to bail out, and we can see that now in the Discord. They've just cut him. KFC, see you later. In comes in Slick, and looks as though we're going to get underway. Here we go. Round
Take
number three. Yeah, take number 3. Let's go.
Apparently Merlin is screaming in the Discord. Rip headphones.
So
There we go.
we
same
should.
there.
I predict a grey mate.
Well, it has to be the same man. That's competitive. I know this isn't an official tournament or anything like that, but let's just say, for example, we are adopting the HDC rules, and something like that did actually happen.
Yeah,
Every
it
single
would be the
champion that
same
was
picks.
locked in, every single ban, yeah, it's got to be identical. Because let's be honest, we do step in it sometimes, and things like that do happen. So
What? Oh god.
there we go.
Really?
Should we tell them that?
Yeah, no, we should.
Guy?
It should be the same band.
There we go. So, there we go. Remake. There we go. So sorry about that, ladies and gents. Even though it's a bit of fun, there are rules, because without rules, let's be honest, it's what separates us from the animals in the end of the day. So, the Greymane band...
Oh, they only hovered.
Oh,
They only
he reckons
hovered.
he only hovered it.
He reckons he only hovered? Well, if you did, you did.
Alright.
Let it roll. You guys are the admins? You gonna make the call?
They're okay.
Fish is okay with it? They're cool with it? Alright. Well, of course they're okay with it. They've got the grip.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. That's alright.
Alright.
Gentleman's play. Gentleman's play. Let's roll with it.
It was almost a take 4. We do have
Jesus.
Eggplant dual picking here.
Smart. Taking away the comfort picks away from Onyx. We know Lucio is one of Grumshot's staple champions that he loves playing. So not only does that give Eggplant a boost in their own gameplay, it limits Onyx as to what they are able to roll out with here. Obviously, having that one taken away, Grump might be forced to another role. Maybe playing the Uther. I'm not 100% sure about what his Uther offers. I haven't actually seen it, haven't played with it, but let's see if it comes into play here. I like that combo though. You get ETC power sliding in with that mosh pit, and especially if you go crowd surf over that terrain, it's definitely a surprise package when ETC comes sliding in with the Divine Shield from Uther. So I like it. Like we said, they draft really strong.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen Grumpshot play Uther either. I've seen him play plenty of Lucios. Going for
it's a solid combo.
Band.
We've got the Chromie ban. I don't know, the Chromie hasn't been too strong tonight.
No, it hasn't. But that
I'm not
said,
sure if,
neither of them took time off his pursuit.
Yeah, that's true.
Build was questionable on both Chromies that we saw. And over time, Chromie didn't come out on top. Because there was no stacks built. That was a major problem. Neither on the Q nor the deep breathing had enough stacks for the Chromie to be effective. If you're going to go in for that high risk, high reward, high difficulty champion like Chromie, you need to be landing at least 50% of your Qs. Because once you get that echo, your damage spikes. If you can land those deep breathing talents, the Dragon's Breath, your damage, again, spikes. But you need to back your own skills to be able to do it. Unfortunately, for the teams we saw tonight, it didn't work.
Yeah, definitely have to get that damage happening. It's a build that depends on it. So if you're not getting it, you're failing your entire talent tree.
Well, she's a very unreliable damage source. She's great if you're landing the hits, but it's very tough. You're basically a man down if the hits aren't making it through.
Look, there is a simple way around that. If you want to spec yours, if you are feeling it and you go, okay, look, I want to go deep breathing, I want to back myself with this Dragon Breath build, and then you lock that talent in at level 1, and then all of a sudden that you're finding that, hey, maybe it's not working, you can't switch your Chromie away, but you can change your talents. Why not go for the Bronze Talons? If you can't land anything, you've got, 2 levels for Chromie until she hits level 4, and then you might make the decision, and it's a big decision to make. Do I go for those Bronze Talons, or do I keep backing myself in to the Dragon's Breath? Even if you're missing those breaths and those Qs, the basic attack with Bronze Talons can still provide ample amounts of damage dealing potential for your team fights.
It's the damage, and it's also the range, because it extends our range, doesn't it?
It does, yep.
Yeah, I mean, it allows you to play a little bit safer as well. So, I mean, you're adding damage to your auto attacks. If you miss your skill shots, you can still follow them up with an auto attack anyway from a safe distance. It's a pretty reliable build. I'm surprised we haven't seen it more tonight.
Yeah, the W pick in second tier is definitely more of a crutch pick. It just does it increases the radius of the Dragon's Breath. It doesn't actually add any damage or anything like that, but you do follow it up with the extra damage on the third tier. We do have quite a squishy damage dealing team on Eggplant so far. We've got a Gul'dan and Stitches coming through on Onyx. We've got a strong front line.
Yeah, you're happy about that one, aren't you, Kit?
Yes. God, yes, I am. I can't wait to see how much value Gul'dan comes into play here, because that Horrify around this turn-in points with the eggs can definitely catch teams off guard, and if you're smart and you can control where your opponent runs with the Horrify, you can actually make them run into your team if you position it right. It runs out from the center, and you could potentially split a team straight down the middle, interrupt their turn, deny them their gems, and in turn make those gems your gems, and then from then on you can just continue to pile on pressure.
Yeah, it certainly wreaks a little bit of havoc in those narrow corridors around the eggs, plus also in between the lanes. There's a lot of like sort of small, tight kind of spaces there. You can easily divide the team.
Last pick now for Eggplant on blue. They've got Lucio, Diablo, Li Ming, Lunara. Just having a look, they could potentially use another support, another front line, or a bruiser. Yeah, it's going to be Malthael, who we've seen 3 for 3 tonight, boys.
We have. I'm not used to seeing this much mouth.
We are seeing a lot of strong frontline, high health heroes though. so he's quite a good pick against them. Even the Uther is a very tanky support character.
Malthael is a great counter to Stitches as well. Slick Sloth is really going to have his eyes peeled, because if you hook a Malthael, especially after level 10, Tormented Souls is going to just going to cause your team so many issues. And you don't really want to be enabling the Malthael like that. It's the last thing you want to do. So Sloth on Stitches really has only 3 decent targets that he can hit. You don't want to hook Konya on the Diablo. You don't want to hook Merlin on the Malthael. You really want Stossie, Crazy Dave on Lunar, or Alex Burnsy on Lunara, Lucio, or Li Ming. You can land them, you get the follow-up stun with Grumpshot's Uther, and the lockdown game, the CC chain will start rolling and then just roll over the top of the enemy. That's the game they're going for here, but it's going to have to come down to those frontliners of Onyx to get the enables.
Yeah, it's going to be all about coordination in the end, I think. Jumping on the right people, shutting down the right people, landing the right stuns. Both teams are going to depend on it, I think. There's no real sort of, a strong character who specifically needs to be shut down. The whole team, both of them, they function by coordinating their attack.
Let's go, ladies and gents. Eggplant versus Onyx. Get your eggplants in the chat. They're on blue. It's Merlin on Malthael, Alex Burnsy on Lunara, Crazy Dave on Li Ming, Konya is Diablo, and Stocky, the Stockman, the Stockmaster, is playing Lucio. Meanwhile, over on Onyx, it's Gul'dan is the fish, Grumpshot Loose is Uther, Greymane is Shardstorm, AC the man is playing ETC, and Slicksloth, the sub-in for the Ratzer, is on the Stitches. Let's see what they can do. There it is!
Slicksloth with the hook straight up!
Oh, good night, Crazy Dave! The Fell Flame connects, and Uther comes in on cleanup duties, but Konya's going to answer one back with a great
revenge
shadow charge, and a fantastic flip there into the wall. So 1-for-1 trade, not all bad, but Onyx, that'll put the wind in their sails for sure.
Yeah, they'll definitely be excited about that. ETC was ready for it. As soon as he saw that hook, he jumped in and cut him off from the retreat, knocked him back into the team just to guarantee the kill. Poor Crazy Dave. He copped a whole bunch of hammers and spells to the face.
So Konya just trying to get the piggybacks on the priority heroes here. Will he be able to find the fish? That's the big one. If you can flip Gul'dan, he's definitely going to have a hard time getting back out. It'll come down to AC and Grump to keep him alive long enough to be able to waddle his old ass out of the any harm's way. Shardstorm now up in the top lane as Onyx get the rotation going. That's what we like about Tomb of the Spider Queen, is that there's not a lot of map ground to cover. AC gets flipped, but the heals are coming in from Grump. Very, very well timed there, and well, the fish now rotates to the bottom because, like we said, not a lot of room to cover. It just allows for lots of team fights.
Great charge there from Konya on AC the man, but he's got quite a bit of healing left over. And of course that armor buff. A lot of rotation happening in his top 2 lanes, with Merlin getting hooked there by Slick, but teleporting back to the minion. Still only 1 apiece so far though. Very even on XP. AC the man waiting for a pick here. Backing off.
Crazy Dave landing some great damage onto AC the man, but Grumpshot's always ready with the burst heals from Uther, and he's hardly suffering any mana problems at all. They're coping with it quite well.
So Merlin's going to get caught in the bot lane. Yes, AC comes in with a well-timed power slide, and that just allowed Shardstorm just to continue dishing out this damage on Greymane. Hasn't hit level 7 yet, so hasn't got that Gilnean cocktail quest just yet, so Incendiary Elixir still a little bit off. He's just going to continue to mop up. The rotations are going on yet again. Onyx actually in front here in terms of EXP lead. Having a quick look at the kills, they have got 1 up, 2-1 in terms of frags on the Eggplant lads here at the moment. AC again just gobbling around in this shadow terrain, going for the Chinese bush strat, just not, just biding his time, but gets a little bit impatient in the end.
Look, I noticed with Gul'dan, do you like the improved life tap for level 4?
I love life tap. That's the one I go for. The mana tap. So you go for the D and gives you back more mana. Always go for that one on Gul'dan. I don't go for the life drain. Just because it can be easily interrupted. You want that mana, especially when you've only got a solo heal in the form of Uther. AC's getting caught out. That's why solo heal struggles, and ETC gets taken out. Even Uther with all his abilities They just struggle from there. Now Konya, gets a good piggyback flip onto Grumpshot there, but look at the damage that is coming out. Lunara is having a field day, definitely harpooning some fish.
And we saw some cheeky B-stepping from Konya there as he walked away on less than 100 health.
That classic hot sledging.
And Eggplant's going for their hand-ins now. They're
2 off.
48, 2 more.
Merlin getting interrupted by Slick down at bottom. Bit of a rude hook,
she makes
but
though.
yeah, no, they're coming down to stop her. Looks like she's gonna get it in though.
First weave over to Eggplant here. Yeah, Merlin interrupted.
I think she interrupted herself.
Yeah, just got a little bit shaky there. Oh, the charge again from AC. The body blocks are good. The power slide is even better, and AC manages to get away. Going for Crowd Surfer as well, so expect to see some cheeky slides into some monstrous mosh pits, and if they come off, the eyes will light up like dinner plates, and Onyx will take fights.
I love Crowd Surfer on ETC. It gives him so much more tactical ability.
Weavers there.
Seeing a lot of rotation.
Yeah, the Eggplant lads, they'll be sitting pretty here. They're going to hit level 8 just before Onyx. They're sitting on even talent tiers. Level 10 is the all-important one. Now, Onyx, they have to worry. This is where it'll really test them, lads, because the plan might not have gone exactly the way they would have hoped at the moment. They were up in XP, they're now down. Can they stay composed long enough? That is where their game needs fixing, and I can guarantee you it's something they're being working on.
I think if Shardstorm can get his gems in and relax a little bit instead of trying to defend the 34 gems, then they'll be able to get back into the swing of things.
So not too bad. They managed to survive the first Web Weaver phase with only a couple towers down. No actual fortifications. Keeps out of the equations as yet. So they're sitting up down in the bot now are Onyx. But Eggplant, they'll be switched on. They'll be looking to rotate now and interrupt that. They know that Shardstorm will be sitting on 34, but there's not really a whole lot they can do about it. AC is goblining, lurking his way there. Ooh, good sound wave from Stocky just to reveal him. But alas, they traded up there. It's a phase for phase. Onyx now get their own Web Weavers a roll, and can they get themselves a fort down? They need it because level 10 is about to be hit by Eggplant.
Yeah, once that level 10 hits, it's going to be a bit of a swing in power levels. The Red Web Weavers are on their way, though. They're going to wail away on those towers for a minute. If they can get a couple of towers, Onyx might be able to catch up with XP, narrow that window of advantage that Eggplant's bound to get once they hit level 10.
So now Eggplant are hunting. They're going to go straight away, rotating from mid to the top. They know that's where Onyx is, and they're just going to bully their way onto the front line. They say, here we are, lads. You want to rumble? Let's go. We've got everything you've got and more. We've got a level 10 talent tier advantage, and we're ready to rumble. But Onyx are smart. They've gone for the disengage, sitting on some decent amount of gems on their own, but will we just do the dance? That's what I'm worried about. Or will we get engaged? It's looking like the latter. AC spots Crazy Dave coming in, tries to throw in. APOP is a whiff. No one collects Rumshot, who is split away from his team. Will he throw out the DS? He looks like to be holding on to it. Lunara getting the work done, but Rumshot surviving for now, forced to blow the Divine Shield. Will it be enough? Horrified from Fish, misses the Fell Flame, but Ernsey should be taken down. In comes Shardstorm, or is Lucio's heal going to be enough? Yes, it is. Stocky coming in clutch with the amped up. Now, we're not done yet because we've got a mosh pit going in. Oh, they traded up kills 1 for 1. ETC loses his life, but they get Malthael. That's the trade-off. Konya, ballsy play going in for the Shadow Charge, does not even care that the fight is done. And Onyx, they come in, they've taken a fort down, and they're currently sitting on, well, pretty much even Stevens in terms of EXP and a fort advantage.
Yeah, it's pretty close. The fort advantage is going to open up the map a little bit more for Onyx down bot, give them a little bit more space to hand into the egg. I'm surprised Lunara didn't die there. Stocky was doing her a massive favour there. I'm surprised that Grumpshot didn't die as well. I thought for sure he would run up when he was getting chased down, but he kept running around to the right. His teammates were all up above, but managed to get out in the end anyway, and that's why they nearly picked Lunara. That was a very tense fight. I'm surprised that it went 1 for 1. It's very, very even at the moment, 3 for 3 overall. Looks like there could be an engage here inside the protective magic armor field of the Wizard Bruiser camp.
Well, Shardstorm down the bottom, Greymane doing Greymane things. He's going to take those siege golems And then he's just going to rotate up. Grumshot comes in, offers a much-needed reprieve, a sigh of relief, a much-needed burst heal. And now the rotate comes up, so while Onyx continue to get that lane pushing down in the bot, all they need to worry about is getting an engage on here as soon as they see the peel. But Konya's going to get a good turn in. That's 38 gems now in the bank for Eggplant. Onyx, they'll need to take that one into account, and there's nothing they can do as Eggplant pinch a Web Weaver phase out from under Onyx here. They just drop the ball a little bit there, I feel like.
Yeah, look, they did have the fort advantage, but now with the second Web Weavers for Eggplant, they're going to take, well, they've just taken the one in middle. They're probably going to get this one in top as well. They do still have a level advantage in terms of health and damage. The Web Weaver down bot is going to stop that Siege Minion push. Look, Slicksloth again carrying another 28 gems, which means he might have to be a little bit more careful than he otherwise would. Oh no, it was Shardstorm last
We
time.
get Konya in the gorge.
Oh, the gorge!
He's gonna take him behind the gate as well. Konya is going to be down and out. There's no way he can get back in. The Horrify from Gul'dan. But a pop coming in, sorry, from Konya. It's not going to be enough. He does have the gems. AC still holding on to that mosh pit, but that is a huge hook and gorge play there from Slicksloth. Don't need no lockdown, just behind the gate, and the tower and his team did the rest. So Eggplant, that'll hurt them a little bit, but with those souls, Diablo's just going to waddle his way back into the fight. The Web Weaver's still getting it done in the mid and bot lanes. They'll die, but Eggplant, they might take 3 for 3 in terms of frontline forwards here. In fact, they will.
Yeah, and that's it looks like they could be engaged here now. It's not talent parity, it's not level parity. This is a dangerous game. The hook misses, and there is no wall nearby to take him behind if he does get the gorge off either. So I think that was a dangerous area to engage. They are backing off a little bit. No, Onyx, they decided they're going to go back in. If they can get the jump, an ETC mosh pit could work from Diablo with the interrupt though. Oh, Merlin's thinking about it, but she turns away at the last second.
Sloth needs to rotate here and hand in these gems. If he dies here with 30 gems, which now he's in trouble, he's caught. Merlin comes in with the wow, the Tormented Souls, but the gorge from Sloth is enough to take him down. He's going to drop the 30 gems right into the home half of Eggplant. The mosh pit goes in, but it's interrupted straight away, and this is where it looks sour for Onyx. AC's going to go down. In fact, 3 players have gone down. There goes Grumshot. Shardstorm gets destroyed, and Onyx just gets spanked where it hurts. The Eggplant guys timed that to perfection. Not only do Onyx lose the fight, they lose all those gems, and now it starts to look dire.
Yeah, I think it was almost 50 gems all up. It might have even been more.
It was a turn. It was a turn's worth of gems there, easy, and poor Slick dropping 30, and I think Shard dropped about 24, so there's pretty much your turn, and it just hurts. It stings from there. They're potentially going to lose a keep down here as well. They're going.
Konya wants it.
Yeah, Konya wants it. He says, nah, where you going? We're going to get this. Now we can put the Nikes on and boogie away, even though Shardstorm gets a cheeky Dark Flight Razor swipe. But Konya's Diablo. He don't care.
It's hard to chase down a team with Lucio anyway.
Oh, the hook again. Sloth does have the gorge, but didn't actually get that one off there. Konya able to shadow charge back away onto a minion. Disengage. If you're going to fight as Diablo, that's where you fight, in front of your minion wave, so that you've got that disengage option.
Onyx a little bit suspicious about the boss there. They wanted to check it out. Konya coming with a smash on the Slicksloth. Stokey trying to put back AC the man, not very successful, but Slicksloth is going to go down.
Big A-pop coming in now from Konya, and well, they trade them up, but they've lost Stitches. So Progrock now being completed by ETC, doesn't have the mosh pit. There's still 20 seconds available. Konya going deep, too deep, one would say. No, he charges back away because Stocky comes in with a save and clutch. With that sound barrier, Grumshot, the poison's going to do the work and take him down. A slow, painful death for one of the founding veterans of Onyx. The Fish is going to try his best to keep that sustain up. Oh, the heals coming in from Grumshot in spirit form were almost enough there to keep Fish alive to get a pick, but regardless, he falls. Onyx again fall behind the bandwagon, behind the 8 ball. They're going to lose a boss as well. They've lost the talent tier advantage, and Eggplant can just put the sleeper hold in here and just apply pressure.
Yeah, with that one keep already down in mid lane, this one's probably going to mean at least some severe damage onto the top keep. Everyone on Onyx will spawn in time. That Uther healing in his spirit form really is quite deceptively strong, isn't it? Not only is Uther quite tanky and can take a fair bit of damage during the fight, But after he goes down, after all that damage has been put onto him, he can still put out some nice heals. Looks like, yeah, Onyx is a little bit split here. Konya couldn't quite get the grab on the fish though, unfortunately. But this wall is going to go down very, very fast. The rest of Onyx needs to get up here as soon as possible. They are down a talent. They are down 3 levels in health and damage at the moment. The boss has taken barely any damage so far. It's finally 5v5
here. This could be the win condition if the boss can get to work and take down this top tower. Well, Onyx have actually got minions pushing the bottom, the mid lane, so Knights are getting to work there, but the boss still sitting comfortably at about 60% HP, getting to work. It's going to get this top tower. That will go down, and now will Eggplant. They've got a decision to make. What's Konya going to do? The shot caller. Is he going to go? APOC goes in, into the charge, collects cooldown. Will it be enough to take him down? No, Divine Shield comes in, and the Horrify is enough to separate Onyx and Eggplant for now. Merlin, though, coming in with the Tormented Souls, dealing massive amounts of damage to Slicksloth. And Nara and Gleaming do the rest. Should Onyx lose 1 or 2 more frags here, that'll be GG. They lose AC the man, and from here they fall over like 10 pins at a bowling alley. They Shard actually just manages to get back in there. Grump tries, Grump fails, sound barrier for good measure. Now the race is on. Can they do it? There's no minion wave pressure. I think they're gonna have the damage. Yes, they are. Oh no! Here come Onyx! Will this be a clutch save? The fish is trying to take down Konya. 30% on the core. Merlin is trying so hard, as is Crazy Dave. The race is on. Merlin goes down 14%. Dave doesn't have the damage in the bank. 11%, and Onyx are gonna come in here with the save at 8%. Konya's trying to get it done. 5%, 3. The hook from Slicksloth. 1 more hit. He's not gonna be able to do it.
Wow.
Oh wow, 2% on the core.
That's incredible. What a save from Onyx.
Yeah, that was incredible. The boss was wailing away all the way through the shield. Eggplant, they were just nailing down the health of that core. Onyx, they had a few drops, and it looked like Eggplant was going to take it. It really, really did. And even after they got the Lucio kill, Onyx was chasing Konya up and away from the core, leaving Merlin and Crazy Dave to wail on it. But they turned around just in time.
Onyx need to be really careful here that the top minion wave doesn't actually cheese it out from under them here, because those ballistae and catapults, they do a lot of damage, and when you're not looking, you can be caught with your pants down, and already Onyx not wasting any time, because that would be hilarious. For us, not so much for Onyx.
No, not at all. And they are being very careful of it, obviously. I mean, they have to. And they can't even afford to just sort of send one person back. They kind of have to all go back. Because if they send one person back, the last thing they want is for the remaining 4 to have to put up with a 4v5 fight. The enemy team, Eggplant, does have Lucio, so they will be able to catch them if they try to run.
They need to shove top. They really need to shove top. Maybe one more minion wave wouldn't have gone astray at all. Just having a look at the talents, quick look over at Greymane. He does have Incendiary Elixir completed, but again, the talents, in fact, everybody has their quests completed. Frog Rock has been completed by ETC. That happened quite a while ago now, probably about 5 to 7 minutes ago, but Onyx, they're playing the defensive turtle game here. Eggplant, all they need to do is out-macro them. There's 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the boss, and I think Onyx will be trying to get level 20 before that, because Eggplant, as soon as they hit Storm Talent tier, it's going to be GG, I reckon.
Yeah, they should go for it. The Diablo grab could be the end of them.
Here we go, the engage is on. Horrify in. Will AC the man land a massive mosh pit? No, the Wave of Force again for the 2nd time in a row interrupts it out of the Crazy Day, being left unchecked on the backline, and AC is deleted from the equation. This is going to be GG here. There's no front line left for Onyx as Slicksloth walls to the might. The combined might of UA Eggplant. Oh, get him out in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Eggplant have taken it to Onyx in a tooth and nail fight. It wasn't easy in the end. Onyx definitely with glimpses, but so far Eggplant undefeated in the tournament, 3-0.
It was looking so close for the first half of that match there. They went 1 for 1 in the opening fight. They ended up 3 for 3. It still looked very, very even. It was an Eggplant web weaver. It was an Onyx web weaver, but because Eggplant got that second one, when Shardstorm lost so many gems, that was really the turning point. I think Eggplant took the lead. They took the level lead. They got a talent advantage. They always fought with the advantage after that. It was close, but Eggplant deserves that win. They played well. I'm surprised Konya didn't manage to finish off that call the first time. Good on Onyx for fighting until the very last second there. There's no point surrendering. There is always an opportunity for a comeback. So it's good to see people, fighting it down to a 2% call. It's a match worth watching.
I was watching as the game actually ended there, and the stream was just getting up to that 2% core, and chat was just going crazy.
On the edge of their seats, isn't it? That is the esports equivalent of on the edge of your seat. Twitch chat just popping off like firecrackers. It's great to see. It's why we love it. It's why we love esports.
Some spectacular stuff there. Should we talk about MVP?
MVP, I think we should.
Oh, it's going to be hard to pick one. It really is, because that game, I mean, even the Onyx lads, they played fantastic. I mean, it's not often we give an MVP to a losing member, but it does happen, and I want to give honourable mentions to Slick Slots, the hooks there on the Stitches, just to enable a lot of that fight. He got 10k EXP as well. He opted for the Slam build, which there's a few builds on Stitches that is viable, and that's definitely one of them. The other one is the HP build. Personally, I like to go for chew your food as well as the globe sometimes, just to max that HP pool, especially when you're going up against the likes of Diablo. But Slots, fantastic hooks, but you can't look past Crazy Dave's Wave of Forces. 2 times in a row, he came in clutch with the interrupts on the ETC mosh pit, and if that wasn't there, I think the fights would have gone very differently.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with Grumshot as well. I thought, especially in the early game, they were copying a little bit of damage to the face from Li Ming, also a little bit more from Alex Burnsy on Lanara, but Grumshot was always on the ball with his heals, always never playing catch up with the healing, always keeping his team nice and topped up, really sort of preventing them from suffering any kind of fear or intimidation. Which I think is important. The psychological tactics often can play a nice part, and I think Grumshot really took care of his team in that regard. Some of the apocalypses from Konya were spectacular. That last one where he got eaten by Stitches, and I think he tried to get the apocalypse off straight away, but interrupted. Yeah, a couple of them were a bit wonky. I think Merlin's Tormented Souls were also pretty solid.
Yep, I would agree.
But she did have the most deaths on her team, though.
Look,
she was that solo lane too.
Yeah, I know he's already got it once tonight already, but Crazy Dave on the Li Ming, I mean, for a different reason this time, not only the damage and utility she provided, but with those clutch Wave of Forces. Normally you would see a disintegrate, and you often question why a Li Ming would go off, but when you've got an ETC that is potentially able to lock down your entire team, to come in clutch twice, where, let's be honest, AC landed off some pretty decent moshes with that crowd surfer. The Wave of Force to knock him out twice turned the fight in Eggplant's favour, and again, I'm adamant that unless Wave of Force was used in that situation, the fights would have been extremely different.
Yeah, the moshes were good, and you can lose a couple of players from a good mosh pit, so I feel like you're swinging my vote here. I don't normally like to Crazy Dave, someone twice in a night, but it's hard to say that he didn't deserve it.
That 4-man mosh was excellent. That interrupt, it was so quick, and that really could have been a turning point for Onyx to really come back into the game. But Dave was there with the force push, and it kept him in there.
It did. Special mention to Slick Sloth. I mean, like we said, his hooks were fantastic and enabling. But unfortunately, it was outdone by the timing of Crazy Dave. AC tried and got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter because he was just knocked out of those moshes. So well done, Crazy Dave. MVP yet again. But again, hats off to Onyx and Slick and everybody else who played. Fantastic game.
All right, beautiful. We need to get this next map vote happening.
So there's 2 more matches left in the night, am I correct?
That is correct. So if we take a quick look at the squad, we've got Deathwing reigns supreme, going 0-3, Limewire going 0-3, Onyx going 1-2, RU going 3-0, Eggplant going 3-0, and Muppet Slayers going 2-1. So I think this may come down to the round 5 match between RU and Eggplant.
It's starting to look that way, isn't it? I'll be interesting to see the next one. Deathwing, if they beat Onyx in the next match, they've got a chance of evening it up with them. So they can try and take out Limewire in the finals match while Onyx battles Muppet Slayers. They might actually be able to come out in front of Onyx. So this next match, it's got some value to it.
So we've got the map vote going. We've got Sky Temple, Battlefield of Eternity, and Cursed Hollow as options this time around.
Oh, Battlefield of Eternity. Give it to me, Daddy. Give it to me. Just give it to me.
You like your Tannis on that map, don't you?
Oh, man. Don't even start me. Don't even start me. You've seen it. You know what I'm about. You know what Artie can dish up on silver platters. I'm talking about, squishy fried main courses. I'm talking your chromies, your mages, anybody who can think that they're safe. Artanis is lurking in the wind. So yeah, give me that Battlefield, some of that sweet, sweet juice. And I tell you what, the votes are backing me up here. So get involved, ladies and gents. There is a link in the chat. Let us know, let your voice be heard. What map do you want to see? It's between Battlefield of Eternity, Sky Temple, and Cursed Hollow. So there is a 2-minute delay, so by the time you've seen this or heard this, there might be a couple more votes in, but we'll let it roll out for a little bit longer, I think. We've got 2 more matches to go tonight. We'll be taking a break after this one before we jump into the final.
Yeah, we can take a break before the final.
Yep, 4 minutes.
Excellent day.
And we're back, just setting up the lobby for round 4 of this round robin. We've got Onyx versus Deathwing reigns supreme. So we haven't seen DRS tonight. Have you seen any of their players before, Kit?
Just gonna have a quick look. No, I don't think I have. I did see a bit of chatter about these guys going on in, I think it might have been either the UA Discord or the Onyx Discord, and they were extremely keen to put a team together and get involved. They were deciding on a name. I know that these guys have been playing together for a while. They definitely have a bit of action on there. Unfortunately, personally, I haven't had the opportunity to jump into the deep end with these guys. I just looked at some of the names, but you know what? That's what the excitement is about. I love surprises. I know that seeing new blood in the scene gets a lot of people up and about. I'm one of them. I mean, for a long time, HOTS was very stagnant there, and for it to grow from strength to strength and have these new players, new teams, new personalities, everybody wanting to get involved, sort of brings, like a proud tear to my eye, sort of like a fatherly figure, watching, his little project grow from nothing to be here now and be involved from the start is great. So I'm actually really keen for Team DRS. I'm going to have so much fun with it as well.
We do play with a lot of these guys quite often, actually. Hephaestus been seeing just the past couple of days. Played a couple of quick matches against him, I believe, which is always good fun. Misery, been playing with for a while. Locke turns up to all the Mondays. He's extremely good. Big fan of Locke. And Chucky, of course, absolutely amazing guy. Very, very active, very, very friendly. Can't wait to see these guys in action. Let's see if we can get a ready out of them.
Yeah, we'll see if Onyx can turn around this game. As you were saying earlier, Ag, if they're able to pip Onyx, they'll be equal on score.
Yeah, absolutely. Which means they're going to be battling in the round 5 for ultimate bragging rights against each other. Because the round 5 matches for each of them are also pretty even. So DRS is definitely not out of it yet.
Still got a couple of reviews left, have they?
Would you be able to swap the title around, please, Grunter, for Onyx and Deathwing? Onyx is on the left side, Team 1 for blue this time, and Deathwing reigns supreme is on Team 2 red. And of course we're playing on Battlefield of Eternity, as voted for by the viewers.
KVA said that he's looking to join the next Clash of the Clans as well with a full e-girl team, and I don't know about you, Ag and Naked, but KVA's got some of the best man boobs going around, so I can definitely see him in there with a full e-girl team, fitting right in. Just a joke, KVA. We love you, mate.
Fish is captain for Onyx. There we go. Well, banning. Yeah, look, we have probably nearly 30% of the HOTS players in Unreal Aussies are females. You would have heard the captains of both of our teams, Claymore and Merlin, both female. It's definitely a thing that could happen.
It is a growing percentage of the community. Our female HOTS players, so of course have the ladies night on Friday, which big draw. Not sure if that's for the ladies or the alcohol, as you said earlier, Ag.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes. They definitely get stuck into their wine. I forgot to mention as well, Andromeda in Muppet Slayers, also another female. Very, very good. I love playing with Andromeda. Ooh, and the Sonya band straight off the bat.
Not really surprising. I mean, we know how strong Sonya is. We saw it in the past couple of games. Now, Tass has been taken away from Battlefield of Eternity here. Not too sure what that's about, but Team DRS, they know what it's about, and they obviously don't want to be dealing with Tassadar.
I have seen some nice plays from Tassadar on this map, watching some of the pro games last season, but I don't think it's particularly reliable, so I'm surprised he's getting a ban, but it might be to do with their overall team comp or their overall strategy, so we'll have to see how that unfolds.
He's very good for his sight. There's lots of little nooks and crannies in the center of this map, and he can kind of eliminate any ambush potential from Eggplant. Not Eggplant, Onyx, sorry.
Okay, so it is Onyx on the left, the blue team, and Deathwing on the right, red team.
Yeah.
Correct. So the first pick is going to be Valor for Onyx. So it doesn't really show too many cards, you know. It doesn't really channel DRS into any sort of funnel picks or anything like that. It doesn't force them to start thinking too much about what they need to draft. They can play their own game. Alarak. Now, I'm going to be interested to see how these guys go, because Alarak is one of those heroes that it needs a highly skilled player to play him. His skill cap is high, is what I'm trying to say. And DRS, having a look at their stats from tonight, having gone 0-3, they want to have some kind of godlike Alarak player to come out here alongside Greymane. But if you can land the Telekinesis Discord Strike combo, and even better, freakishly build up those quests, Alarak is one of those guys where you need to very heavily rely on the quest talent for him to be effective. His damage can just absolutely skyrocket when you combine that with the sadism bonus that he gets as well. His chunks upon chunks are just nasty to deal with. So I'm excited for DRS, but also I'm a little bit skeptical as well.
Yeah, look, Alarak, very, as you said, very high skill cap hero, also very risk versus reward. A lot of the two first quests can take damage if you don't complete them early enough. You lose 10% on your sadism, and every time you die, obviously your total sadism gets reset, which can go as low as 80 if you take both quests at level 1 and 4. Joanna, a little bit of a counter to Alarak, in my opinion, when I play as Alarak. That unstoppable messes you up a little bit, I mean, Karazim, probably not so bad. Vala will probably be the main target for Greymane, I dare say. As you said as well, Vala doesn't really narrow Deathwing's picks at the moment, but with the Karazim out there and the Joanna, they might be getting a few more ideas. Do you think we might see an Artanis at all? The Vala's already out there. She's a good immortal killer.
We've got a Uther Hover here on the ban.
If we're going to see an Artanis, I think it might be on the side of Deathwing. I mean, you've already got... I don't know if they're going to roll the Karazim as a support or they're going to roll Karazim as a bruiser. If they're going to run him as a bruiser, we won't see the Artanis, obviously. But if you're going to run him as the solo heal, which he pairs a lot better with guys that can dive in, so you're a lot of frontline, so that'll mainly be on the Johanna. If damage falls back on the Valor, Karazim's going to have to use a Radiant Dash charge and then blow his heal. That then separates him from Johanna, the frontline, so... I'm interested to see what the next 2 draft picks are here for Team Onyx. There it is! Boom! I'm excited now. Artanis on the side of DRS. It fits. It works. Let's just hope it pays off. Do me proud.
And you'll notice before Onyx was hovering over the Uther band before they finally switched it to Morales. So they might be spewing a little bit here.
Well, there's front line that needs to be picked here for DRS, and Onyx have got no bans left. They banned out Morales, but Grumshot feeling confident, even though he went down against the UA Eggplant guys on the previous map. He was confident in the way he played his Uther, and I have to say, for not having seen his Uther before, I was quite happy with the way that he was able to pull that one off. He came in clutch a few times. His Divine Shields were good, but what's caught my eye is that Jade Hierarch Artanis just waiting to set up some monstrous plays. I don't know who is going to be... don't know who's going to be filling those shoes on Team DRS. We're not too familiar with a lot of their players, but Onyx, they've got 2 left. There they have to think about it. The double front line, Johanna and Diablo, they need damage. Leeming is okay. So Karazim obviously is going to be playing heals. Interesting draft here from Onyx.
Lots of characters that can, they're very tanky, the Diablo and Johanna. We've got the Johanna for blinds on the Greymane and Artanis, so that's a good counter, but I'm a bit worried about their damage in fights, just because they've gone for 2 tankier warriors rather than a tank and a bruiser, which you usually see.
Yeah, I mean, all their damage, obviously, Liming, Vala, both... sensitive to an Alarak telekinesis or an Artanis blade dash and warp prism, and Muradin comes in. There's a fair bit of CC on Deathwing here.
Oh yeah, there is. So if they're going to win, I think they've already won here on the paper. I mean, we're questioning Alarak. It'll all come down to see if it can be translated from a fantastic draft into fantastic gameplay. A lot of these guys are high skilled. Artanis is one of them. Alarak is another. There just seems to be something about the Protoss that scream, you need to be good to play me well. They took Tassadar off the board as well, so they almost went for the whole kit and caboodle. But here we go, ladies and gents. Onyx versus Deathwing reigns supreme. Team DRS, rock and roll the game, Kumar. We are underway.
Oh, and it's Misery on Alarak. I should have known. Misery does play Alarak, and he is good at it.
Oh, he is very good at it. So we'll see if that translates into the tournament. We do see some deadly Misery Alaraks on Monday nights.
I'm surprised Apra isn't here. He must have had to do something tonight. I thought Apra was on Team Deathwing. This is okay. Look, honestly, I'm thinking Deathwing at the moment. I feel like they've got the right amount of CC.
There's a lot.
I haven't seen Loke play Uther. He has won MVP a bunch of times on Monday nights though. I know he's a good player. Wow, these we planned which matches we were going to stream based on how even they were, and I think it's worked because it's been pretty tricky.
You done good. They've been okay so far. I mean, Muppet Slayers Limewire was a little bit one-sided, but after that, I'll tell you what, you hit the nails on the head, boys. Muppet Slayers Eggplant was good, Eggplant Onyx was good, and now Onyx DRS. I'm looking at this draft, thinking exactly the same as you are, Ag. DRS have got it on paper. Should they be able to land their abilities? That's the only thing that screams to me. They've gone 0-3 tonight. They haven't won a game. Can they afford to be playing these such high skill cap heroes?
Who have they already played tonight? So they played against Eggplant in round 1. They played against RU in round 2. And then in round 3, they were against Muppet Slayers. So they've had a rough draft so far.
This could be it for them. I guess we'll find out.
I'm excited.
I want to see Artanis land some major prisms. I want to see big setups. I want to see Alarak just displacing everybody from that backline. Leeming and Vala is Alarak food here. So let's hope Misery can just pull it off. But let's run through the teams, ladies and gentlemen. On Team Blue, Battlefield of Eternity. It is game number 4 of the night here in the UA Clash of Clans. Onyx are on blue. Grumshot is Karazim. AC, the man, is Johanna. The fish is Leeming. Shardstorm is playing Vala. Slick Sloth on Diablo and their opponents. Deathwing reigns supreme, Team DRS. Tanis is Chucky. Loke is playing Uther. Finoy is Muradin. Hephaestus is Greymane. And Misery on Alarak.
We do have a 4v1 happening in both lanes so far, so we'll see how that changes up.
I dare say AC, the man's not in any real danger.
You can happily sit there as Johanna and just be a wall, basically. Just be that immovable wall. Chucky needs to be careful not to get caught out on the top here. Knows that nobody's been spotted yet. Slicksloth makes himself known, but everybody else just goblining, waiting, just sitting. Oh, the prism comes in early, and that is going to be the engage for Onyx to come in and help Slicksloth. Chucky gets absolutely banged in the top lane. Will he get away? The fish misses all 3 arcane missiles, and Chucky just manages to get away.
Nearly managed to. I mean, he took 3/4 of Slicksloth's health bar. Nearly got the kill on Grumshot from the tower shots. That's the thing about Johanna. She can go unstoppable. She can get away from all that CC. Artanis was in a little bit of strife there.
Take an amateur opponent. Oh, and Sloth B stepping up in the top lane as well.
Yeah, some good old-fashioned bad manner.
Hot banter. Hot sledging, we call it. Oh, there's a bit of an engage going on in the bot lane. Nothing too major. Locke just able to heal up all the damage that was coming out there. But it's going to be Chucky on the Artanis versus Slicksloth up the top on the Diablo. The rotate came down from Onyx some time ago, and now we're just going to duke it out. Up until this first Immortal phase, things can get a little bit boring, but they can also get a little bit dicey. AC or just clips Loke there with the Condemn. All Misery missing these combos so far. He has actually opted to go for the sustaining power talent at level 1 as well.
I was watching Diablo just sort of sit half outside of his gate while Chucky wailed away on the minions there. I reckon he was hoping Chucky would come in.
Shard's in trouble! Shard's in trouble! Oh, Hephaestus comes in with a fantastic disengage out of wolf form back into the ranged Gilnean and picks himself up a kill there. Well done, Hephaestus. Well done there to Team DRS. And for the first time tonight, well, they've got themselves an advantage. They're going to hit level 4 and they're in front. Onyx on the back foot.
Yeah, and once they hit level 4, which will be any second now, they should engage. They are 4v3 down bot. The talent picks are coming through. Misery has gone for the Discord Strike quest and the heal on level 1, so he's only taking one of those quests. Onyx going to grab the Summoner Camp before the Immortal spawns, just to try and get that extra push down bottom lane.
So now, this is where Onyx are good. They know how to macro out the game. As soon as the warning comes out that the Immortals are coming in, already Onyx, they're taking that Shaman camp, getting that pressure going on in the bot lane. That leaves DRS something else to think about. Do we DPS this Immortal down, or do we just run and stop it in the bottom lane? With Artanis and him taking amateur opponent, I think it's going to be the former. We're just going to go for that Immortal, and already you can see the race is on.
Yeah, they're just going to battle it out with the Immortals. Onyx does, of course, have Vala. She has gone Hungering Arrow build. Perfect for killing the Immortal on this map.
Well, they're losing the race here. DRS need to make a call. Are we going to defend here? Oh, Shardstorm gets caught out there, so lots of damage. Chunks flying from Misery. Dealing massive amounts, but OHC creating a good zone there on Johanna. All she needs to do is waddle up, and with Misery not on that one, it's going to be going over to Onyx here on Team Blue. They've clawed their way back in here, and until we hit level 10, that's really when DRS can come and hit their stride.
Yep, Divine Shield or Divine Storm from Uther, the Charge or the Counter Strike from Alarak. They've got some very strong ultimates.
Oh, Shard getting caught there with the telekinesis combo. Discord Strike did damage. Misery now, all he's left to do, once his burst is down, he's kind of a sitting duck. Oh, just narrowly missing Shard Storm again, and now Misery just needs to be careful. The best thing about Alarak is the telekinesis disengage that he's got. When he has a little bit of a fluff like he did just there down in the bot lane. But this first of all is probably not going to cause too many issues here. But DRS are not actually prioritizing the target at the moment. They're trying to pick the kills here, and Misery just missing a lot of these Alarak abilities in this engage.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's just trying to stack his part 1 of the Discord Strike quest, because I reckon he might have been able to get a triple strike while they were right in front of the gate, but I think he was playing for the safe hits there. Ooh, and the engage there. Hephaestus went to jump in with Greymane, but had to bail out at the last second. Misery is trying to chase down the Karazin, but can't quite get him. He's in a bit of trouble himself now. Is he going to use Telly to disengage? It's off cooldown.
Oh, the Condemned comes in and actually collects 3 Hephaestus with the baits. Actually gets away with the sliver of HP. Locke doing a fantastic job of healing up. And again, Fish just missing the missiles that time, but that was because it wasn't his fault. Finnoy, Dwarf tossing his way out. The Bees have come out and DRS all go back to base. They leave Finnoy there because, let's be honest, he needs somebody soaking. Chucky, with that amateur opponent, is going to get to work on the Khazra camps at the top. Pour a little bit more pressure down Slick Sloth's throat. Should he like it or not, he's going to have to open up and take it. And Chucky on the Artanis, expecting to come into his own. He's going for follow through as well. So that is going to be dealing a few more chunks of damage. Once he starts to level up, he gets that ball rolling. That's why I love Artanis.
Yeah, and the triple strike at level 13 as well with the amateur opponent. Excellent for the Immortal.
He's just able to duke it out there with Slick Sloth in the top lane. Not too phased about any sort of counter shadow charge coming his way because he's got Khazras there. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, the poke game is strong. All the Discord doesn't come out. In fact, it was just a displacement there from Misery, expecting to set up some big plays. Good missiles in counter though from Fish. Meanwhile, Immortal phase is on. Neither team decide to take a camp this time. Well, Onyx can't. DRS probably could have, but they decide against it and will get underway in phase 2.
Ooh, DRS is going to have a 5v4 fight on the head.
He's collected 3 with the Discord Strike. That is the quest completed. Expect Misery to deal chunks now. Onyx has fallen over. This is not good at all. They've lost Valor. So without that damage coming their way, Slicksloth needs to be careful. Yes, he's Diablo, but can you 1v3, my son? Make that 1v4. He gets some attention coming his way in the form of support of the Onyx lads, just rolling up in a carload style. But DRS now, all of a sudden, Onyx have just squandered their lead. And without the Valor in the fight, they're struggling. Finally, he rejoins the Fish, comes in comes Scrumshot with the heals, but there's so much damage coming out from DRS, and nobody's hit level 10 yet. The Hammer of Justice hits on AC. Kildan Cocktail doing work. Sloth comes in, trying to clean up Misery. He's unable to do so. Does he go too deep? The silence is in. He's just going to be able to get away, and DRS only secure leaning in that fight. Now they turn him back. Oh, they backhand Uther. They lose Johanna. And I'll tell you what, Onyx will be licking their wounds after that one. DRS get to work on the Immortal. Good fight, and they get the objective too. That's a win.
Yeah, very nice fight. Everyone was getting a little bit low. It was pretty nail-biting there, but I mean, that Discord Strike quest completion adds, what, at least 180 or so damage to the... is it more than that? 180 damage at least to the Discord Strike, and he managed to get it off a couple of times. The AoE, it really took Onyx by surprise, I think, the second time they engaged. Now the Immortal's coming through. It's going to get that fort for sure. The wall is already down. Probably do a little bit of damage to the wall for the keep. Everybody is alive again. We've still got the Artanis Diablo battle going on up top. It's only going to be 4v5 down here. Well, 4v5 plus an Immortal.
The Faces needs to start throwing out some cocktails here, getting a few cheeky shots across. Going for the Incendiary Elixir build, it's actually not sitting too bad. 11 out of 15, they take the fort and continue to push on here to DRS. Onyx need to be careful not to start losing their heads. This is where they struggle a little bit. The game can still be won from here, even though the Immortal is pounding on the doors, knocking, saying, "Have you heard about our Lord and Saviour Belial?"
You reckon Belial incoming hero for Heroes of the Storm?
I do,
that's
actually.
what the leak is saying.
I think Belial is definitely on the cards, and I like the mechanics he brings as well. That sort of stealth disguise mechanic. It's something that we haven't really seen. So let's put out a little word. Oh, there's lots of damage. Shardstorm's being caught out. APOC goes in. Slick collects 4 with the APOC, but it's all too little too late. As Onyx, they've lost their main damage dealer, Vela, and now they've put the Nikes on and they are retreating. AC taking a lot of damage. Wave of Force comes in from Ming, separates them, in comes Slick. Will he be able to get the save on AC? No, he does not, because her pace just comes in with the Gilnean cocktail and completing the incendiary elixir quest. Just for good measure as well. It's fantastic play here, and DRS continue to roll this snowball on. They're currently about to hit level 13, and that talent tier is dangerous.
Yeah, it's not looking very good for Onyx. It's going to be an uphill battle from here. If they can get back into their stride, I think they still have a chance. I think the Mercs can do a surprising amount of push when people fight over the Immortals in center. I think that's one of Onyx's strengths. You can see him going for this Merc camp here now. We don't have the warning on the Immortals, and there it is. They've timed that beautifully.
Both teams have. They really have. So each team's going to get a Shaman camp that'll start marching on down its respective lanes, but Onyx need to be careful here. They need to, well, I'm going to say they need to soak, but there's no way they're going to hit level 13 before DRS do. All DRS need to do is plonk somebody in lane, and they need to do it pretty quickly. They've got 7 seconds to do so. One more wave or so should be enough. Chucky gets a swap on a Slick up in the top lane. Oh, Misery whiffs the charge! That's unfortunate. They're going to get to work on the tower regardless. No, I think they might actually give this one over to Onyx because they're more comfortable to take down a fort, or will they take this fort and then in the second phase of the Immortal take the fight to him with the talent tier? I think they're about to do exactly that.
Yeah, they're probably, yep. They want to defend this, they want to win the fight and get the Immortal first. Oh, the swap comes out from Antanas, but it misses just. The Deadly Charge is still on cooldown for another 10 seconds on Misery. I suspect that's what they're going to be waiting.
Well. Greymane has no go for the throw. Alarak so close to another charge. Locking himself with the Slick APOC. Oh, the APOC collects everybody! That is how you do it! That is how you play Diablo. Slick Sloth getting it done. But regardless, they only get 1 frag out of it, and in fact, Slick loses his health as well. They've lost Johanna, they've lost Diablo, they lose Vela, and Team Diablo is just falling apart here. Onyx, literally, with a 5-man Diablo character lineup, it is just fallen over for them.
Oh, I thought they had that fight. I thought for sure they had that.
Slicks, how did they not capitalize on that 5-man APOC from Slick Sloth? I'm speechless, and Slick will be fuming at that. He'll be like, guys, come on, give me something.
2 main tanks, I think. They're just missing the damage to follow it up.
And that bruiser on the front line definitely costing them.
Both teams cleaning up their respective lanes of those mercs. Saw them both coming through. We got a bit more value out of that top lane though.
Yeah, the Summoner camp was wailing through that wall. DRS definitely wants the minions to run in with the Immortal, soak a couple of additional tower shots, keep it alive for a little bit longer.
Push now is on the bot lane. Can DRS get a fort out of this? There's a decent shield on that Immortal too, so I think they just might be able to, but Onyx have hit level 13. Before they hit 16, this is where Onyx need to engage. In goes AC the man, misses the Condemn. Chucky tries to get a Phase Prism, not too sure about that one. In goes the Suppression Pulse. Shardstorm's been taken out. No Valor, no damage. Li Ming, it's all on her shoulders, but Fish has no mana. Slick with another APOC. It collects 4 this time. He is on fire, but there's no damage at all. With Valor going down early on in that fight, and Fish with no mana. Poor old Onyx just have 0 ammo left in the belt. And from now on, DRS can just snowball here. I think that might be the winning condition. Vala's still out of the fight for 6 seconds. They're just going to go for it here.
Yeah, that Immortal's doing some serious damage to the core. If they all focus it, it will go down before they die.
That's going to be game, ladies and gents. They're just going to get the wiggle on now. Greymane loses his life, so see you later, Hephaestus. You kicked from clan. You were the only death. You know, one of the only deaths, but nah, GG's. DRS coming out with the victory there. Onyx just losing it in the damage department. If Shard didn't get picked at the early stages of those fights, they could have gone down so much differently. Again, just 1 or 2 things that are going wrong for Onyx in the fights that are just costing them.
Yeah, the focus on Valor was real. And I mean, that's what you need to do. You've got to kill that damage dealer, especially when they've only got 2 main ones. the only other real damage they had was maybe Karazim, and he had to play heals because they only took the one support. So I think the focus was real and the focus was appropriate. Look at Bala's deaths compared to the rest. Did get the only kills for Onyx, but again, also to be suspected. One on Loke, 2 on Hephaestus. Look, honestly, if we move on to MVP, like we said last match, we don't often talk about the players on the losing team, but how can you look past Slicksloth in that? Those Apex were beautiful.
The aim on Valor was appropriate. I think the Li Ming can deal damage and did deal damage, but a lot of it can't kind of penetrate through the team. And you can see it in the damage taken on the red team. They just copped it on the chin and kept going.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't help if you're hitting Muradin, second win, he just gets his health back. It doesn't really help if you're hitting Artanis without getting a finisher on him because it's only a certain number of seconds before he gets his shield back. Uther, again, the chunkiest of supports. So, damage taken. I mean, Li Ming's job is to put it out, and credit where credit's due. Fish did put out the most damage in the game, the most hero damage in the game. But without getting the actual final blows, the kills, it just allowed DRS to keep coming back. Some of those fights, it looks like Onyx had them. They had the engage, they had the apocalypse. I saw at least 2 Rain of Vengeances come out of Shardstorm that were pretty decent. Got 3 or 4 people in them, but just not quite enough damage between only 2 of them to really make any finishes. I do want to stick with Slicksloth, though, for my MVP pick.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give it to him as well. Oh, man, I can count 2 of those APOCs that twice, there's 5 players on the other team, he collected 9 players out of 2 APOCs, which is incredible play. So, and look, he played a fantastic Stitches last game as well and was probably a little bit unlucky, just overshadowed on the game day to actually be overlooked for that one. But congratulations, I think Slicksloth definitely earned it this time.
Alright, do we want to bring him in for a quick chat for Chucky? We do have the map vote up for the next round. It is Volskaya, Braxis, and Cursed Hollow.
Oof, let's go. Get involved, ladies and gents.
Yeah, the last round, round 5, of course, being Rolls Unspecified versus UA Eggplant. The 2 favourites for tonight, I think.
Yeah, well, they were both 3-0. I haven't heard about their 4th match, though, so it might be a play in round 5. I've brought a Chucky with me.
Hello, everyone.
How'd you feel about that game, buddy?
Absolutely stoked, mate. It's always good to have a competitive match against Onyx. Got to be honest, I wasn't expecting a victory. I was just hoping for a close contest, to be honest.
Look, when we saw the draft pick come through, we saw the Alarak, and we thought, it's a very sort of high-risk, high-reward character. It does have to be played very well, but then we saw a lot of your CC coming through with the rest of your picks. And we thought that the CC was probably going to give you the edge on paper. And then as soon as the loading screen came up and I saw it was Misery on Alarak, I thought, it's probably going to go their way now.
Bit of confidence in the Misery Alarak there, eh?
I've seen him do it a few times now. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he presses me a lot to pull that one out.
Well, congratulations, and I think you've now evened the score with Onyx.
Excellent.
So round 5 might decide whether or not you come out in front of them overall, or you might tie.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, all the best, buddy.
Mate.
Cheers.
No worries. So over at the votes, ladies and gents, it's looking so far like Cursed Hollow is taking a decent lead over the likes of Braxis and Volskaya, but Braxis is closing pretty fast, so we'll leave it open for another minute or so to get your votes involved.
Well, we're going to take a little break before this one.
Yeah.
Even though we took
2 minutes. 2 minute break.
Make it 4.
Let's go for
break,
the
right.
solid 5 back, the final game.
Season.
So we're back, and round 5, the last game for tonight. We've got Roles Unspecified versus UA Eggplant.
Yeah, get excited. I'm excited for this one.
Really?
Did they
'Cause
both
you don't
win their
sound it.
last game?
Get hyped, everybody. Get hyped. I know it's been a long night. It's 10 to 10, but it's come down to this. UA Eggplant versus Roles Unspecified. You said that you had been picking the games tonight, judged by how close they will be. Having a look at the stats, these guys are neck and neck. So, this one, we've definitely saved the best for last. So, let's jump into this one. I cannot wait to take a big bite of the monstrous, juicy slab of steak that is this game that is in front of me right now.
So I just want to confirm, Grunter, did they both win round 4?
They did. I'm looking at the
All right.
bracket
Been
now.
muted the whole time. Wow. I've been having a discussion with you.
Oh, really? Clearly not, no.
Yeah, so we got Eggplant and Roles Unspecified all unbeaten and at the top.
Wow. So this determines it. It determines the winner.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to quite possibly a third MVP for Crazy Dave.
Can we
I'm
see
not
a
really
targeted
looking forward to
leaning
that.
man, you reckon?
I don't know, maybe, yeah. I mean,
Look,
it
Roles Unspecified, they're not... Yeah, look, Roles Unspecified are not amateurs. They know what they're up against. They know who Crazy Dave is. They know who he's good at, who he's bad at, and they would undoubtedly have no doubt that Crazy Dave has picked up 2 MVP performances on Li Ming tonight alone in this one tournament, so there might be a priority ban coming out here and a respect ban as well, and I wouldn't see why not. It would definitely be warranted.
Look, we do it on Monday. Sometimes, it pays to ban for the map, pick the right heroes for the map, or pick the right heroes to ban for your team composition or your strategy. But sometimes you see someone like Crazy Dave on the enemy team and you just go, look, I want to ban Li Ming just because I just don't want to have to deal with Crazy Dave's Li Ming. It happens to the best of us. And it's an honor, it's a compliment when the enemy team bans your favorite character, because it just lets you know that everybody fears it.
Definitely. We've seen Chromie bans targeted at Hacky. Another one that we wouldn't be surprised at seeing is a Greymane ban targeted at Suze. We know pretty much that it's his bread and butter. He loves it. And why wouldn't you? Greymane is just incredibly strong. Cocktail build is just ridiculous. There is no really other viable build at the moment on Greymane. I mean, yes, you can go basic attack Darkflight, but you've got other champions that can play that frontline bruiser with higher health pools, like your Artanis, ones that have a bit more survivability. So the Greymane poke that Suze plays is extremely strong and extremely dangerous, and I have no doubt at all that Team Eggplant will definitely be watching that.
Looks like we've got all the players in now, so we're good to get into the drafting phase. Hopefully we don't get any disconnects again. But yeah, let's get to it.
Let's go, ladies and gents. Roles Unspecified versus Team UA Eggplant. You are on red, Eggplant are on blue. We're going over to Cursed Hollow. Your votes are the ones that have been telling us what maps we've been playing all night tonight, and this time Hollow has defeated Volskaya and Braxis. So Volskaya must live. I mean, I definitely love the map. The Tree Love is ridiculously strong, and you really need to draft your team about being able to burst that one down. That's where teams, I think, just might be a little bit scared of it because they're not quite comfortable yet. They don't know that maybe the Artanis, like we saw on Battlefield of Eternity, amateur opponent, fantastic at burning down the Triglav, and it's good in that sort of respect. I mean, teams just don't quite really know how to, chunk it down just yet.
Well, I mean, it did only get added to ranked play, I think, in the last
recently.
patch, so hopefully we'll see a lot more of it coming forward in both our level of play and the pros as well.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Eggplant versus RU. This will determine basically the victor of the night. It is a round-robin style, but these two teams are undefeated. They're both sitting neck and neck at, 4-0, so the winner of this comes out with the bragging right, so let's get it on.
Oh, hovering the Genji ban.
Popular ban tonight. No one wants to deal with him.
Now we're going to see the Liming.
I guess when you get to pro levels, everyone's a pro Genji, and you don't want to deal with them.
As opposed to the silver gold levels where everybody thinks they're a pro Genji.
That's right.
Look, I'm guilty of picking Genji in Hero League the other day. It was a deny pick, I'll be honest. It was only because I went up against a guy who was playing Genji on my team for 2 games in a row and he dominated, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. I'm going to have to take this away from him, or we are all going to have a bad time. And still I picked Genji, and we definitely had a bad time.
Ban. They've gone for the, playing it against the map, banning against the map.
Yeah, it is one of the 2 largest maps in the game.
Oh, and the Greymane deny.
Denied. Yeah, smart play. Smart play there from Eggplant. They know what's going on. Like we said, these teams, every single team tonight, all 6 in fact, they know each other very, very well on a personal level as much as a professional level. And, well, oh well. It's it's good to see that kind of stuff happening.
Hacky's saying in chat to you, Kit.
I'm looking at him going,
what is wrong with you? Who actually enjoys Volskaya?
Hey, come on, Hacky, riddle me this. If you had the choice of a map being in the HL rotation, would you rather Volskaya, or would you rather have something like Haunted Mines or Hanamura? Answer me that honestly, and then tell me you don't love Volskaya.
If you're comparing it with Hanamura and Haunted Mines, it's... Look, I don't mind Volskaya. I think that it plays a little bit differently to the other 3-lane maps. But I have fun on it, and I actually enjoy getting in the Protector. A lot of the people I play with hate it. Don't know why.
I love it.
Oh, we Ming Steel.
It's one of those maps, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. I mean, it's not like a Braxis where a snowball can turn into, something much, much worse. It's the Tree Glove is manageable. But regardless, we're going to be on Cursed Hollow. Let's put Volskaya back where it belongs, all the way down in the snow mountains of Russia, where nobody can get near it for now. Hopefully next week we'll see it. But now, back over to Eggplant. They've got Greymane already locked in. Lucio and Liming are the selections for roles unspecified, so getting a very Onyx feel about their lineup already.
Yeah, we've got that solid Greymane coming in for the finishes, and of course poking with damage with the flask. We'll see what they pick up here. See if they pick up any globals for this map.
Stocky, beg your pardon, Stocky, the Stockman, the Stockmeister himself, the Stockenberg, he has complained about Lucio being taken away from him just after Crazy Dave has felt bad about Liming being taken from him. I think that could be Konya on Diablo again.
Winch. He really he cannot winch. They just took Sousa's Greymane away from him. Like, everybody
All's
is
fair.
playing the mind chess here. That's exactly right. So don't winch, just deal with it, because that's what separates a pro from an amateur, the ability to adapt. And right now, we're seeing the drafts that we thought we would see, just on the opposite sides.
Look, you could also say it's what separates the children from the adults. How much do you want to have a whinge about your situation? Ooh, the threat from Stocky saying, "I'll break you down." It could get a little bit personal. The stakes are high.
I think it already is.
Breaks turrets. Yeah.
It's for the win. It's for the win.
You break me, I'll break you. Sounds like something Arnie would say in a cheesy 80s movie. It really does. But they're soaking up the time for their second ban. It looks like we are going to go for Sonya. Surprised to see nobody pick Sonya yet, to see her fall through so far. But regardless, the safety net of the second ban has actually caught her on the bench this time. ETC currently being hovered now for Team Eggplant, which really could ruin their lineup here. And you know what else could ruin their lineup? Blinds. So Johanna would be a fantastic ban for them right now. But nah, they are going to go for ETC.
Yeah, they want to deny the strong tank. I mean, Jojo, another good tank, in my opinion. One of my favourites. But ETC is probably one of the more threatening ones. At the moment, they're Eggplant's CC is all within melee range with the Diablo and the Uther, apart from the Apocalypse. Without the Leeming Force Push, they're not going to be able to counter the ETC as well as they did in the last match we watched.
There's still 3 picks remaining, 2 coming out now. They do have that Uther on blue.
I agree with you in chat there, Kit Fox. There's no way Warhead is better than Volskaya.
No, Hanamura. He said Hanamura is better than Volskaya.
Oh, did he?
Yes. Hacky has come out and said he would rather play Hanamura than Volskaya. And I don't know what's wrong with you, man, but you need to get yourself checked out right now. I'm calling Morton, your manager, and saying, what the hell is wrong with this guy? This guy's your captain, and he would rather play Hanamura over Volskaya. Somebody needs to be checked here, and it ain't me.
It was Coffee who said Warhead greater than Volskaya. I'm surprised Hacky likes Volskaya. I don't ever see him voting for it in the Monday night.
Well, it was there. Nobody voted for it, so unfortunately, it's not going. Let's go is the hype in chat from Liraz, and the RU boys getting a bit of love from their own camp. And hey, why wouldn't you get behind them? The winner of this comes out with the bragging rights. No prizes on offer tonight, but hey, that's why the bragging rights are even more important.
Yeah, it's all about honor, dignity, and insults.
Bands. It's all about the bands. Do you know the way? It's about the bands.
A bit of positioning as well for the upcoming HGC season. People can kind of do their research a bit tonight and see how the teams play that are entering. But Falstad and Lily coming out,
aren't they? There we go.
They really are.
I don't mind Lily because that'll take away a lot of the damage that Lunara is able to pump out, and if Lunara just sits back there with that weird-ass attack and movement animation that she has, she can definitely deal a lot of damage. Poison is strong, and without, heals over time, which they kind of have now with the Lily, the complete counter to Lunara, they really struggle. So I like what they've done here, Eggplant. They've taken the Grey Man away from Suze. Yes, Dave has lost his poor old Li Ming, but I really like the blind coming into the Arthas Lunara.
Yeah, that is half their damage at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if they pick a nice brawler for their last pick there. But also the Falstad. Let's not forget that Eggplant has the only global in the match at the moment.
No, Dahaka, he's taken off the board, and that might actually cost Rolls Unspecified. That might come back to bite them. Are they going to have to either, A, pick themselves another global, so a Brightwing, but I don't know why you'd do that in Lucio. Oh,
an Abatha!
Hold the phone! Woo-hoo! We've got our old-fashioned pajama slug coming out for a little bit of a run. Well, he's really only got Lunara to chuck the hat on. Other than that, I mean, double. Look, to be fair though, double Arthas is dangerous, and that sort of CC could definitely carve apart a team. So that one has come out of left field, and Rolls Unspecified, putting all their eggs in the Abbey basket. Let's see if it pays off. I'm excited for that one.
Thinking about the CC, which I always like to do a little bit. We have the blinds from Lily, as you said. They are pretty important in this match against the Lunara. We've got the Gust, if Falstad does take the Gust. We've got the Apocalypse plus the regular CC from Diablo. And we've got the Hammer of Justice from Uther. Maybe a Divine Shield as well. I would suspect he'd probably, Divine Storm. I suspect he's going to go Divine Shield, though. Probably protect the Grey Mane as Grey Mane dives deep and goes for the throat.
Even Diablo as well. I mean, Diablo is one of those ones that you really do need to protect, or otherwise, once he's down, you're going to have a bad time. They've got no other front line, no real other bruiser on the side of Eggplant. So we saw what the double tank comp did. I think it might have actually been again for Onyx. They had the Johanna as well as the Diablo, and it didn't really pay off for them because they were missing that bruiser.
Let the battle begin.
Well, it's underway. We do have Eggplant with Crazy Dave on Lily playing a healer, Merlin on Falstad, Alex Benzie on Greymane, Konya on Diablo, like we saw in the last match. Stokey on Uther, loves his healers. We've got Are You Night Eyes on Arthas. Are You Lorna on Lucio? Are You Rykors on Lunara? Are You Bob Goat on Abatha? And Suze on the Li Ming.
Already the quick rotation coming out here. A bit of damage cheekily coming out here from the side of Rolls Unspecified down onto the bottom tower, taking it down to about 60 to 70% HP. Forced out the rotation there from Team Eggplant, so already they're having to play reactive style gameplay, which is not where you want to be. You want to be the one dictating the terms. You want to make the team come to you, not the other way around. So already Rolls Unspecified dictating the terms of this map.
Yeah, but it was a quick response. So if you are going to be the one responding, at least make it fast. We do have two up in the top lane there, just battling it out against the Abathur Locusts. Lili versus Li Ming in middle. Crazy Dave not in any real danger at the moment. Lili, of course, quite slippery with her fast feet and the self heals plus the blind. It's always pretty hard to take her out unless you've got a nice stun to lock her down.
So already Bob Goat there on the Abathur, just calling for some help up in that top lane because there's nobody up there. He can body soak only for a little bit until Stocky and Alex Burns. He just pour more pressure down his throat and he has to go back behind the lane. He's just chucking down mines at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Abathur's build. He is going for Envenom Nests, so a mines build Abathur so far from the level 1 talents.
Bit of a stalemate in each of the lanes at the moment. No one's in too much danger of getting 1v1'd.
Eggplant has pulled ahead in XP though.
I think it's because they had the early Uther split, yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't do the 5-man on RU in mid just because of Abathur. Playing a bit cautiously until level 10.
Rykors has had to hit the fountain. Merlin putting out a decent amount of damage on him.
No sippy cup for him as we come into the first tribute phase. Currently spawning up in the top lane. Suze has come out to help Bob Goat on the Abathur up there in the top lane against Stocky, Stock and Burnsy. That is just 2 players, not 3, don't get confused. But now Lorne comes up there with the speed boost, and Lucio didn't really bring anybody with him because there were 2 players down in the bot lane for their roles unspecified, and they've got a long way to come. Lorne was forced to come up into the top lane on the Lucio. He gets the hat for good measure. Good spine burst from Abathur. Just being a little bit cheeky, but again, level 4, it's going to be mines, so they're just going to play the control game here, and those mines, as the levels go by, Ag, they can really start to hurt.
Yeah, if he builds all the way into them, they can be quite painful, especially for a poor little, maybe a Greyman, a Falstad, or an Uther who's trying to get away from the fight if they run into one at the back.
Still a tit for tat going on here. So Arthas throws out the Howling Blast, misses Konya. Dave is on the front line, throwing out the winds. Just making sure everybody has enough room to work with when they're going for the tribute, blinding everybody. And by everybody, I mean Lunara, because that's the one you want to be going for. It doesn't matter who else you get. All right, Light Eyes takes a fair bit of damage down into the Frozen Tempest. Burnsy so close to dying, just as the Cloud Serpent keeps him alive a little bit more. But Rykors on Lunara gets taken down. Konya for about the 20th time is going to go and have a crack at this top tribute. No, again, make that the 21st time. In comes Light Eyes. Howling Blast is going to interrupt it. So it seems like we've been doing, the dance here at the moment. Have a look at Bob Goat down in the bottom lane. That is the sign of a good Abathur. Body soaking up while your team is fighting around the objectives. But, alas, it's gone over to Eggplant. They will take the first tribute. But having a look at the EXP, Bob Goat probably should have soaked up a little bit more there. But now Falstad's Merlin is going to come down the back line. Oh, did you see that? While Merlin was flying down, actually flew over an Abathur mine and it triggered.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, knows that access in HOTS.
That could actually be quite dangerous.
Oh, look at the mines. Konya's soaking up already. Diablo down to half health after walking through the field. That is not good at all.
Yeah, and they all go just straight back up again.
Bob Goat has picked up Mule as well. Get some more quality out of those towers and forts.
Already rolls unspecified. They're going to go for the camp. So Siege Golem's going to be pushing down that bot lane. Tribute, more closer to mid, probably just on the other side of Eggplant's half of the map. And I think rolls unspecified, yes, they're going to be quite content just to let that one go over the mule, healing back that gate up, because Bob Goat really needs a wall between him and his enemies, or otherwise Abathur, even if you're a good one, even if you're one of the best, it just might be caught napping. We can't watch both the minimap and what's happening on the screen all at the same time. But Bob Goat doing a good job so far. It's currently 8-8, but the experience is slightly in favour of Team Eggplant as they continue just to soak up. And once we hit level 10, the trigger's going to be pulled. They might get a curse for that one to boot, as it's spawning down now at the bottom, and there's no choice. Rolls Unspecified need to fight this.
Yeah, they do. Eggplant, I guess if they had their way, they would try and get level 10 first, but I don't think they're going to have quite enough time. Unless Greymane can... No. I thought for a second there...
Lorne's been caught out with the Shadow Charge and the flip in the bot lane, and Rolls Unspecified already at a disadvantage coming into this tribute. That is a massive pick from Konya, the man on Diablo there, and that forces Light Eyes and Sue's the whole way away. There's no choice for Rolls Unspecified but to give up this tribute. Howling Blast goes in, but it's not going to be enough, and they take it, and now they start the siege.
Yeah, it was very good play. I don't know if you saw Merlin there. She forced the Lunara back into the gate and threw a hammer over the wall to get her nice and low so she couldn't engage at all. They were already down their healer, the Lucio, so Aryu was at a disadvantage, and that just solidified it. She did get the Lunara pick off at the top gate before when they were fighting over the first tribute. So far, I've seen some great hammer throws from Merlin. So that mule not going to do a whole lot there.
Yeah, so it's all for naught in the end. It's going to get to work repairing that wall. You go, you good thing. You can. I know you can. Light Eyes now in deep there on the Arthas, throwing out the Howling Blast into the Frozen Tempest. The APOC goes in. The level 10 advantage. This is where it gets dangerous. And Eggplant continue to flex, make that level 11. They take Lunara and Lily's blinds, causing so many issues at the moment. Li Ming now is taken out of the equation, and there is no damage at all for Rolls Unspecified.
No, and I thought they were going to get taken out on the chase there, but they ran through those mines, doing them a great service there. Oh, Lucio gets grabbed, and Arthas is going to go down immediately afterwards. They do finally catch them in the end, just the curse finishes. That middle fort might go down as well. No, not quite. The minion's going to save it just in time. So they're going to hammer on this boss. If they can get that boss to push through, at least bust through the wall in front of that keep, leave it nice and sensitive for an attack later on. This is going to do Eggplant a world of good.
Right, course is actually going to send out the Wisp and Spot Stocky and the rest of the lads from Eggplant wailing away on that boss, and Lorne really needs to bring Light Eyes into this fight with the Lucio. There we go, finally. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. It's not. The timing is way off, and Eggplant are just going to comfortably take that boss, and they don't even need to push with it. They can just turn their attention down to mid, because have a look at that tower. It's extremely low. It will go down. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about that one. It will fall. Meanwhile, Bob Goat down in the bot lane can be spotted on the other side of that wall, so the other team knows exactly where the Slugman is working his magic at the moment, but it's good from Bob that he's actually getting the body soak on. Having a look at his stats at the moment, he is leading the way with 5k, but still very far behind everybody else. The rest of Eggplant, they've got that top boss, and even before Aryu have dealt with the top one, they get to work on the bottom one, and then all of a sudden, Rolls Unspecified are just caught leg before, they're stuck in front, and now they, like again, they were dictating the game to start with, but now Eggplant are doing that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't maybe grab a bruiser camp, either the one which RU is working on right now after they took the first boss. Lunara was watching it though, so it would have been seen. It looks like they might grab this siege camp just to give them a little bit of an assistance while they push through this keep. The tribute's up, but Eggplant shouldn't be too worried about it. They don't need it with any kind of urgency. The keep is what they want. Well, Merlin getting caught a little bit out the front there, but manages to barrel roll out. RU Night Eyes has taken half of his damage, manages to well tap those, so he is going to heal up to full. Boss has just started hitting the keep now. Yep, I do say it is probably going to go down.
Abathur, the man himself, has slugged his way over to the trip. He's going to get that, but he really needs to be in this engage in the bottom. They need to pop that ultimate evolution and just assist this fight. Light Eye is taking so much damage, and the bottom cheap has gone down. The boss falls, deals minimal damage to the core, but regardless, are you definitely struggling here? Bob Goat still yet to blow this ultimate evolution. He's still opting for Hat with nothing but a mines build.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he was waiting for there. I thought Night Eyes was going to get a nice snare on Diablo as Konya was trying to back away, but Stokey with an excellently timed cleanse to save him. So Eggplant is just they're gonna get here way before RU. It's only going to be their first tribute for their next curse, so not too much danger. RU instead just going to opt to try and steal this camp, deny Eggplant from using it against them later on.
Well, they really have to at the moment. They're a talent tier down. They're about to be 2 talent tiers down, and if you're 2 talent tiers down, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have never seen any team, regardless of what skill level they are, pro, amateur, or grassroots, come back and take a victory.
No, there really isn't any way to come back from 2 down, especially when one of them is 16. They're only going to be 1 down, though. It will be 3 levels, though, which is still pretty dangerous at 16. Pretty much as dangerous as it is at 10, I think.
Gather tribute or face
this one's going to pop up a little bit closer to Eggplant's side of the map. They do have all of their forts still going, so they've got a place to retreat to if they need to.
17 seconds and ticking for this tribute to make its way on to the field. It is the last game of the night, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't done so already, take this opportunity. Follow Unreal Aussies up in the top, as well as on Twitter, because, well, you'll get more news about games like this. If you want to get involved as well, make sure you do so. It's open to everyone. Now, here we go. The tribute has spawned. I don't think RU really have a choice here. They are going to give this one away. They're going to, in turn, rotate up to the top, just clear the lanes, and play the soak game. It's risky, but they need to do it for as long as they can. And by as long as they can, I mean, that's it. They've got no other time. They have to contest the next tribute. A curse here will end them.
Yeah, I mean, I can see what they're doing. They do want that 16. They don't want to fight down to 16. Because if they wiped, that would be a second keep for sure. Eggplant is going to try and put some damage onto the middle keep here. Oh, and that tribute is spawned all the way down there.
Yeah.
This is very unlucky for Rolls Unspecified.
Once they hit 16, once Lorne gets his Rejuvenescentia, I think they might be with a chance. He blows the sound barrier. Now, let's go. The Jug of 1,000 Cups comes in from Lily, trying to keep everybody alive. Lions lands a good Howling Blast. It connects to the Cleanse is even better there from Stocky, and Lunara gets absolutely backhanded. See you later. And now the DS coming out there onto Merlin, but however, it was not really needed in the end there, because Stocky was he's just on point with the Uther heals at the moment. We've seen him play this Uther a couple times. Howling Blast again collects too, so Light Eyes isn't actually playing poorly. He's got no follow-up coming in there. Another good cleanse this time. Stocky is getting it done. Apot goes in, didn't really collect anybody. Light Eyes is going to go down. No, another Jug of 1,000 Cups. Tell you what, the cooldowns are extremely short here.
Yeah, it's because it got interrupted last time, or she cut it short. So it makes the cooldown for the next one much quicker. A recent change. I think it's a little bit strong, but it's not always made full use of.
Felstad just trying to get this, I was going to say this mage build working. It's not completely mage so far, but hey, I tell you what, it is getting it done, and Konya is, I tell you what, he is a menace. He is an absolute menace on the main tank here at the moment, and that should be GG, ladies and gents. The snowball is just too good. And Eggplant, the UA Eggplants come out over the top of Rolls Unspecified in the age-old question, who would win? One team of Onyx Guild or one team of UA? It is definitely going to be one team of UA this time around.
This time it is, yes. Very, very proud of the guys. They've done an awesome job. The MVP for this one, I've been thinking about it all game, and it was tough. I thought for sure Merlin early on, especially with the Lunara pick up top in the first tribute, and then the force out down bottom for the curse later. She was looking great there. Stocky with some of those heals. I saw at least one Divine Shield pop onto the Failstat, onto the Merlin right before a giant orb hit her. So she took no damage from that. A couple of those cleanses on Diablo. I think really saved Konya. But Konya himself, diving very deep, very hard, very strong, and getting away and getting the job done all at the same time. He was dangerous. That Diablo was very threatening, and he crushed 2 different people against the core at the very end there. Eggplant did not have a whole lot of health on that core. If RU didn't lose those 2 people in the last moments, they might very well have been able to defend it and try for a little bit of a comeback. But the Konya was just crushing him up, like smashing him right into the side of the core. And then because Arthas didn't die from it, Lucio died straight away. Arthas didn't die, and Konya just walks around in front of him, says, "Oh, you want to go up the steps? You can't go that way. Sorry." And Eggplant finished him off, and then went through to the victory. Very happy with all 3 of them.
It was a very low death
Stock's
game.
cleansers. Yeah, it was. Go on.
I thought RU was playing very defensively, especially early on. They got the Abathur, only a 14-minute game, so really don't see the full potential of Abathur. But just having that extra body in the fight to soak that extra damage is so important. And it's hard to kind of counterbalance that with Abathur's extra skill set.
What do you think, Kit?
It's hard. I really want to give it to Stock because we often see the supports fly under the radar quite a bit. And I mean, the cleansers were great, and then Lily, I mean, Crazy Dave did fantastic as well. But Stock's Divine Shields were great. I think we only saw one that was a little bit premature, but that could have been again down to Lily and Uther just pumping out ridiculous amounts of heals. The double support, you mentioned you don't like it so much. I kind of love it. I mean, it's strong, it's hard to contend with, and supports in this game, I mean, with the likes of Lily, the likes of Tassadar, they filled a purpose. You know, it's hard to play around them, especially when you go for the double lineup. So, man, I'm torn, but I'm actually going to have to palm this one back over to you.
Oh!
You're going to have to make a decision, be an adult for once in your life. No,
look, look, I am personally, as you said, I'm personally not a fan of double heal play. It can be very strong, especially if you build your team around it and you play like you've got double support as opposed to the old meta, now it would be. But I think, look, I'm definitely feeling stocky. I don't want to take anything away from Konya. He was such a threatening Diablo. I think it definitely did help that they had such a level advantage. It meant he always had so much more health than what the enemy team was capable of destroying. I don't want to take anything away from Merlin though as well. I'm very torn. If we put it down to Stocky and Merlin, what would you say, Naked?
Look, I love my healers. They do fly under the radar sometimes.
If Ardra was here, she'd vote for Stock.
And I have to go for the Stockmeister. Just great healing. Like, that double cleanse was ruthless. Plus a Divine Shield. Like, they just did a great job. And some great Uther plays. Look,
all that said, I think we're all happy to give it to Stock. And we're also going to have one final little vote, just for the giggles, between all the MVPs for the night. It's going to pop up in chat any second now, and it will be the viewers' chance to let us know what they think and have their own little pick for the MVP of the night. Let's not skip over RU in this, though. I thought some of those Lenara Wisp positions were great. Some of the mine positions from Bob Goat were excellent. I think Lorne was doing a pretty good job with at least one sound barrier. A couple of the speed boosts were, I think, pretty important as well. But he got targeted. And that's the right thing to do. I mean, Eggplant is supposed to target the Lucio. If you can get him, because it hurts the enemy team so much. But I mean, his heals weren't too bad. He beat out Stock. It was a one healer team, so you'd expect him to do at least pretty well. But he had 3 deaths, so he was out of action for a lot of the time. I don't think the stats show as much as show Lorne's performance as much as I seem to remember he performed. But I just want to put some credit out there. Lorne Rycourse and Bob Goat in particular, I thought they played well for what they had. They just ultimately, in the end, got outplayed.
Look, do we want to get Merlin in here one last time?
Should we go Merlin? We've already had her. Should we go Stock? I reckon he might get...
Get the man himself.
Get Stock in. And just a quick note, well, Stock actually says that a lot of the cleansers weren't his, that a lot of them were actually Dave's. But regardless, we're going to give it to him because his heals are pretty good anyway. So you're not getting away from this, Stock. You're coming in for the interview.
And Dave, you've already had 2. He's been
got
greedy
2
now. He's been greedy. It's a team game.
So the vote has just come up, ladies and gents, in the Twitch chat. Vote for your favourite MVP of the night. And, well, once we get Stock to come in here and give us a lowdown on what the game was like for him and for his team and how the night's been, make sure you cast your vote over there. You've been voting for the maps all night. It's been fantastic. Good to get your fingers in the pie that is the UA Clash of Clans. And now your final, we call on your assistants for one final time of the night just to throw your vote out and tell us who was the best, who really impressed you tonight. So to choose from, you have got Claymore, Crazy Dave, who actually picked up 2 MVP votes tonight, Slick Sloth, and Stocky. So let your voice be heard, let us know, and we'll give them a shout out. So that one is getting underway. And Ag, are you back yet?
I am definitely back. Thank you very much. Yes, so I have the Stock with me, the Stock man himself. That was a pretty standard performance, my friend.
It was, but I must say that those cleanses were not mine. They were actually all Dave's.
A little bit of a secret revealed there. Crazy Dave so far winning 2 MVPs for the night, and half the reason we voted for Stock turns out it was actually Dave. The Divine Shield. I saw you save Merlin from one gigantic orb, which I thought might have killed her at least once. Take credit for that, mate.
I will. But Lorne stole my Lucio pitch, so I'm pretty upset with him about that.
Yeah, are you still upset even after the game's over?
Yeah, still pretty upset.
Oh, congratulations, buddy. Your team played magnificently. Very, very proud of you guys. Very, very happy for you. And you deserve the MVP. No matter what you say about how Crazy Dave really deserved it, I still think you deserved it.
Thank you, but I don't know.
Thanks for that, Stockerberg. He's a good guy. I love Stock. Play with him all the time. All right. So how is this straw poll going for a favourite MVP? Ooh. Should I just look at the results or should I vote first?
I think it's, so far, it's pretty much a one-sided affair.
It is too. Crazy Dave with as many votes as all other 3 combined.
Oh, there's a bit of an adjustment going on now, so I think the 2 minute delay is just sort of catching up to itself here, boys. The chat has switched on that there is actually something going on in there, so we'll give it another minute or so and then we'll round it out. It is 10:30. But it's been a fun night. I've had an absolute ball. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure having you here. I'm so glad that I looked you up.
I think you looked me up.
Yeah,
I did because I wasn't big in the scene not so long ago, and I was just talking to some of the Onyx guys and came very, very highly recommended.
Oh, you're making me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
You're blushing.
Oh, I am a little bit.
I don't know. The lighting's not good enough.
Tomato face. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. But hey, I'm not the only one. There are so many other great casters involved in the scene. I mean, Skimmy is a no-brainer. I mean, he's dominating at the moment. Been to a couple HDC events. Vandy is extremely due for her crack very, very soon. She's killing it as well. And there's more. I mean, get behind everybody. In fact, all the GameStar guys do a lot for heroes. So make sure, you give them as much love as you give everybody here. So
yeah, absolutely. Definitely spend a little bit of time hosting a little Miss Vandy. Wouldn't mind perhaps extending an invitation at some point.
I'm sure if you catch her off her streaming schedule, she'll be more than happy to do it.
All right, I think that's enough time for the poll. It looks
Close.
like, yeah, I think it's Crazy Dave in the end though, isn't it?
Yeah, Crazy Dave actually coming out on top in the end. Let's call it there. 2-vote victor to Crazy Dave. Claymore, a notable second though.
Yeah, well played to all our MVPs. Well played to all the teams, all the captains. Well done for organising a Sunday night. It's not always easy. And with the season starting, the competitive season, don't know what we're going to do next, but we will think of something.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you for everyone who played tonight. Thank you for all the viewers. Thanks to Ag and Kit Fox for doing all the casting tonight. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, thank you for everyone behind the scenes who put this together. Grumpshot and AC the Man, getting all the teams together. It's sometimes a very thankless job, but they do it very well.
They do, definitely. AC and Grumpshot, they put in as much time as you and I think, Naked. Even if they are not spending that time on the camera.
Okay, I think that rounds out the night. If we just have one final look through the scoreboard, we've got UA Eggplant on top with 5-0. Rolls Unspecified 4-1, followed by 3 teams on 2-3. We've got Deathwing Reigns Supreme, Onyx, and the UA Muppet Slayers. And then we have Limewire. Unfortunately, didn't win a game tonight, but first tournament for them, I'm pretty sure. So
first tournament.
They have something to strive for next time. Thank you for entering. So do you guys have any last messages you want to convey?
Oh, look, I'm keen for a quick match, to be honest.
I'll be quick. Stay tuned for the HGC announcements coming very soon too, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, make sure you're following at GameStar on Twitter, as well as Blizzard Esports ANZ, because if you like your Blizz Heroes Esports, those are the channels that you definitely want to be following. Follow UA and Onyx, as well as all the casters involved in the scene as well, for all of the news, anything pertaining to the season. It's gonna be big. I'll just say that, and I'll stop there before I get in any more trouble.
You're not getting into trouble, mate.
I know,
Oh, we're gonna hear about it tomorrow anyway, mate. Don't worry about it.
You are. You're gonna hear about it tomorrow. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So Monday evening / Tuesday morning, you'll have all the news, and it'll be good. Get involved.
Excellent.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for another successful Clash of the Clans. We'll hopefully be back in a month or so. We're trying to time our next one between the breaks and HGC, but we'll keep you posted. Thank you for watching, and I've been Knackered. Thanks for casting Ag and Kit Fox, co-hosts, and we'll see you next time.